What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach Big
Yeah. Where you at, man?
In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop until
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it, don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JP show.
What up? We are in the building, in the Slapdick Cigar Lounge and studio. We are here live, pregame Friday, and we got a loaded lineup today. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one, and let's get to it. Make sure you become a member of our Discord, Slap Nation. Plus, make sure you head on over to Winnable, as I made my big splash bet last night. I hit it, plus 580. No defensive players taken in the first 10 picks. Yes, I won $5,800. Winner, chicken dinner. So pound that like, subscribe to our winnable.com/slap-picks today. The best cappers in America will be there every day. Jeff Nadu went 6 for 6 to start the draft off as he was on fire. So glad it worked out. We're going to break this thing down. It is Free Game Friday, and we got a loaded lineup today. Make sure you pound that like all day long, and I appreciate everybody that joined us last night as we did our draft party live extraordinaire. So shout out to everybody out there that was here and attended. We got a loaded lineup. Big Matt McChesney will join us once again today. Jeff Nadu, Shaun King, and Tank Johnson all join us, talk about the NFL draft. We might get a little surprise by Eric Weddle and Sean Salisbury as well. So stay tuned. We're going to give our first-round grades, our second-round predictions, plus the latest news in regards to certain teams trading up or down, plus a little NBA sprinkled in there. We are the realest show on planet Earth. So pound that like, bet all things with Winnable, Prize Picks, and Bet Online. All right, let's get into it. Not since 1983 has the NFL taken 6 quarterbacks in the first round. Let's make no mistake about it. This isn't that caliber of quarterback. Yeah, sure, we haven't seen him play in the NFL yet, but let's just make sure we are clear. The 1983 draft had John Elway, Todd Blackledge, Jim Kelly, Tony Eason, Ken O'Brien, another great left-handed quarterback for the Jets, and Dan Marino. But why were 6 quarterbacks taken yesterday? The quarterback position has always been a hit or miss position, regardless of the pick. How many Heisman Trophy winners have won a Super Bowl? 3. Jim Plunkett, Roger Staubach, and John Howard. So I get it, but the lack of defensive picks versus quarterbacks taken is glaring. The league has made rule after rule change to protect this position. Paid it more money than ever before. Yet the production is down, the injuries are up, and yet we still have to find quarterbacks in a watered-down league each and every year. We are trading quarterbacks every 2 or 3 years from teams that just drafted quarterbacks, only to draft more quarterbacks. Instead of coaching them up at the college level, we are just recycling quarterbacks in the NFL. Eventually, we will run out of quarterbacks that are worth a shit and become very, very hard to watch. It will be the UFL, the CFL, the Arena League. Trust me, folks, this wasn't the 83 class, and the quarterbacks we are watching in the NFL every year aren't Hall of Fame worthy. Sure, there's a few sprinkled in there, but compare the league to 10 years ago. Compare it to 20 years ago, team by team. Go ahead and Google it. And look how significant the drop-off has been at that position. It is telling. But why not draft more first-round cornerbacks then, coach? -5 corners were taken yesterday in the first round. First defensive player didn't go till 15. Maybe because you don't have to if the quarterbacks are so bad. If the quarterback's so god-awful, I'm not worried about beating me. How about get better up front on offense in the kicking game? Just food for thought. Maybe that's why no corners were taken yesterday until way, way late. Just food for thought on the start of this free game Friday. The NFL draft has completed its first round. We will go trade by trade, draft by draft, pick by pick. Plus, talk second round with Nat, Shaun King, and Tank Johnson today. Plus, we'll get our betting picks with Jeff Nadu as we end the show. He was 6-6 to start the draft off yesterday and won his bet on unders for cornerbacks taken. We have a great show to store today, so we'll break down the draft the best we can. Great insight from those guys. Kirk Cousins surprised that the Falcons took a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. at 7 or at 8. And 6 QBs taken. Woo, not since 83, as I just said. But why? We'll break that down as well. But before we begin, my wonderful co-host, Ball State legend, Naptown's finest, 317 Far East Side great, and AR5 defending, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Caitlin Clark jocking, our very own Big Smitty. Welcome him in.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Wrap it up, TikTok. Wrap it up, TikTok.
What's going on? TikTok, IG, Twitter, Rumble, everybody. What's going on, chat, man? We here, we live. I like the setup, JB. I like the setup. You might need to start doing it in there. Forget the studio, your personal studio. Use that lounge right there, man. I like the look.
Hey, TikTok just restricted me. And I had 200 people in there. It went down to 17 people because it made it subscriber only because I'm in here.
Really?
What the fuck is going on? TikTok is crazy. I hope they ban this sorry motherfucker.
You know how much money people are going to be losing, bro, if they really ban TikTok? There's a lot of influencers who are making.
I said last night, I got my biggest check last night or this month from TikTok, and Jeff said he clears 4 or 5 racks on there. I don't make that much, but I'm like, shit, I got to push it. He pushes TikTok heavy. I never use TikTok.
I'm about to start pushing my personal heavy, the porch heavy, the JB show. TikTok where the money at.
Too late.
It's too late now. Fuck. I think they you silly. I think they really about to cancel that motherfucker too. That's the thing. So
I hope not, man. That's the first part of taking our free speech away, man. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why they would want to do it. Like, what's the big issue? Because I haven't read up on it. Is it are they concerned that they're taking too much of our information? Like, I don't even know what's the problem with TikTok.
That's what they say, man. But I come on,
right.
Twitter, Instagram, they all do that. I bet you they come after X next.
Man.
And see, TikTok's going to have to be bought privately, and I don't think the cat's selling. I don't know how it works, but it's going to be 9-10 months away. But at the end of the day, come on, man. It's going to be funny because I'm curious to see. It's not really a Chinese company, man. A Chinese dude that was born Chinese is the owner, operator, and creator. But it's not ran by the Chinese government and all this old shit. I just think everybody else is pissed off because it has been the #1 app, social media app.
And it blew up super quick too.
Yeah,
super quick. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
Yes, sir. But I'm excited for today, man. NFL draft was insane. I obviously had NBA playoffs as well. Our Lakers took another L, but my Colts might have got the steal of the first round. But we're going to dive into that in a minute. I know I'm doing a little cliffhanger. I don't want to get ahead too much, but I'm just excited.
Let's drop it out there. Bet Online is the proud sponsor, and quote of the day is up first. What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to Bet Online today. Become part of the team and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace. All right, Smitty, quote of the day brought to you by Bet Online. Pound that like. Smitty, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think.
I thought you better start freestyling on that.
You know, I just try to give you a little positivity on this free game Friday. That's all.
I'm proud of you, man. Let's keep it going.
Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to Prize Picks. Make each day the best day. Trust today, not tomorrow. Contrary to belief.
Sounds like my clothing brand, Live for Today. That's what kind of sounds like a little bit.
Yeah, a little positivity for you, you know.
Yeah, okay, JB. I'm starting to rub off on him a little bit, slowly but surely, rubbing off on him a little bit. I love it.
Another contrary to belief, just off the head. Plan as if your best day was yesterday, and you will never get tomorrow. That's how I operate, Smitty. That might be a little too deep for you guys. I don't know.
Plan as if your best day was yesterday and that there is no tomorrow. So you're basically saying live for today. Be present, be in the moment, live every day like it's your last, because they very well could be. I think too many of us, we live life like we know we waking up tomorrow. Just subconsciously, you just do. You just like right now, I don't think I'm gonna die tonight or today. I don't I'm not going throughout my day like, oh shit, this is it. But
I might.
JB, you don't do nothing but go to the store and go home.
I live wild life, dog. I do a lot of things. I'm out there doing that, run hills, dog.
Talk to me.
Let me explain I started yesterday to run my 10 steps.
Okay.
I got stairs in the backyard, you know. Running ain't no issue. I've always had great wind. I can run miles and not stop running. I don't get side eggs. I don't get all that bullshit. I can run forever. It's the wind that ain't the problem. Dog. My plan was to start yesterday and run 10 stairs. Run up, walk down, run up, walk down. Hey, Jerry, I got 3 of them motherfuckers in. It wasn't the wind at all, Smitty. My fucking legs went out. I got straight fucking lactose, goddamn high fucking fructose. I don't know what I got, but let me tell you, my shit went out. My legs went out. It wasn't about the wind. I wasn't tired at all. I was like, fuck. I'm saying I went up 3 times, not 3 steps.
Nah, yeah.
3 times, and I'm like, oh my fuck, my whole legs just locked. Homie, they were so rubber and gone, I couldn't even walk down one time. And ass came, I had ass up there. The motherfucker knew something was up. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get down.
Damn.
Nah, I ran 3 whole reps. D Jones, motherfucker. I ran 3 whole reps, and I'm like, God damn, homie. I'm gonna do it again today and try it, but dog, I just gotta get my legs back cracking.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the good thing. Like the hardest thing about working out is just getting back working out, like starting back. And the fact that you started back, that's more than half the battle. I know you had a goal of 10. Maybe that was trying to, you know, a bigger goal that you probably should have had to start off with. But I'd rather you reach for the stars and land on the moon than vice versa. So you got 3, cool. Try to get 4 today and just try to build your way up to 10. Maybe, you know, you ain't worked out in years. I mean, you can't go from that to 10. You know, running stairs is hard.
Latrell, see, I got to teach Latrell. I got to teach my little youngsters some things.
Educate them.
So what happens is on this fasting, this how why you fast is you're supposed to work out while you fast. And even though people think, oh, you're not eating, you don't have no nutrients, you get weak. That's not actually true. What happens is your body has enough reservation in there of food and nutrients for actually up to weeks. You can live for weeks, dog, by eating your own supplements in your body, your own nutrients, I meant. What happens is that's when you start to actually clear out your system, lose weight. It was when you actually work out while you're fasting. It actually burns it double time. So I started back yesterday, though, Latrell. I started back eating yesterday, just my little regular, my clean eating. But tonight I'm gonna do. You can go months, dog. My homeboy, no shit, fasted for 143 straight days without any food.
He must not got no job. He must not like.
He was 300 and something pounds, Smitty. He was 300 something pounds. He fasted for 143 days. There's a former NBA player, I think, fasted for 200 and something days straight without any food. And you can't do it, dog. I remember back in the day we were young, we used to watch movies. The motherfuckers was on an island trapped, and he was like, oh, you only
Cast away.
You got 3 days, you're gonna die. Motherfucker, you can live for a fucking year without food.
I don't know. I think it depends on who you are.
You need water.
I can't. I'm gonna tell you that straight up.
Don't say you can't. You can.
No.
You just don't want to.
No. I'm saying you. Darnell's body can't. Everybody's body is different.
Everybody's body can't. Your body's not separate body.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I fasted for motherfucking 24 hours, 40, a couple days, and motherfucker about to lose it. I'm saying I probably got 50 days in me, probably max.
That's right. Russell Okung did it, I think, for 200 plus days. Look it up.
All I'm saying is this: I'm not Russell Okung. I'm not your homeboy. If you fast for 200 days, you're just sitting at home. You're not moving. You're not walking. You don't have a job. You ain't having sex with your lady. You're not doing anything active to get your heart rate going.
Do all that. What do you mean?
Just because you can't afford to burn any extra calories. You can't do nothing else. You have no carbs.
You can do whatever you want.
You have no carbs, JB. You get energy from carbs.
You do whatever you want, dog.
Well, I'm not doing that shit. That's miserable.
Smitty.
That's stupid.
Smitty, let's dive into my monologue, my take. What do you think about my 6 QBs in the first round being taken? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen a draft like that. I've never seen a draft that bad in my entire life.
Oh, that bad?
That bad, yeah. The people that think that was a great first round draft are delusional. That draft was horrific. First of all, it lacked star power. Let's be honest. It lacked star power. It lacked positional star power, and it lacked depth. And this is what I mean by depth. 15 offensive players right out the gate. I should have been 15, dog. Wonder what the odds would have been on that motherfucker. Plus 5,000?
Hindsight's 2020, JB.
All right, but that's fine. So you take these 6 QBs, all right? Now, listen, we haven't seen them yet, so we don't know. We're not going to sit here and say they're all shitty.
Right.
so that's fine. But it's going to be hard pressed for me to look back 5 years ago and say, okay, that's the 83 class that did it again.
Yeah.
Before you get in, let me ask you this. Like, let's just be honest. Why are we taking 6 quarterbacks in this era when we're supposed to be so uber talented at that position? Why are we taking 6 quarterbacks? I mean, these are not big time guys, dog. Like none. Even you, Smitty, you're sitting here like, come on, Bo Nix doesn't pop off at me.
Right? No, you don't.
You're looking at these guys like Drake May, JJ McCarthy. Like, what did he? I'm just trying to figure this out, dog. Like, this is the crazy part about it, man. These two are the same age, by the way. The lack of corners being taken.
Yeah.
I have a take on it that no one else has had. I mentioned it last night with Jeff. I brought it up with Weddle last night on the live. Are corners not being taken, Smitty, because they're not good? Or are they taken because we don't need them right away? Because we don't fear the quarterback position. Let me just give you a breakdown of quarterbacks. When you're a coach and you're putting together a roster, you know the first thing I do, right? I get a quarterback.
Yep.
I get some freakish D tackles, and I get 2 lockdown corners.
That's the process.
That's how I build a team. That's how I start the process, as if this is the winning formula. Now I got to fill it in. All right. I get my 2 lockdown corners, my quarterback, and 2 D linemen. Now, what does that do? It covers both sides. All right. So on offense, I got the quarterback, the best one there is. Now I can beat the cornerbacks on the other teams. Right.
Right.
D line. Why do I get D line? I don't care about linebackers. You can win in any level without linebackers that are really good. You get D line. Why? They get to that quarterback.
Right.
The corners lock down those wideouts while those D line gets to that quarterback. Okay, that's how you build a roster.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I'm not taking corners anymore, because let me ask you something. Why do you play press man in any level? Why do you lock down receivers at any level? Youth, high school, college, or NFL? Why do you play man-to-man coverage, like in your mug, in your face, man-to-man coverage? Why?
To throw off the timing, right? To throw off the timing between. All right, talk to me.
You're telling the other team that my corner
is better than your receiver.
No.
Better than your quarterback.
Yes.
There you go.
Corners are better than your receivers. I used to press everyone we played was a shitty quarterback. Yeah. Coach, the wideout's beating Johnny. Don't matter. Quarterback can't get him the ball anyway. What up, press that motherfucker? Our corners are better than your quarterback.
Got you.
That is what wins and when you build a program. If I'm not taking them no more, your quarterback's not better than our corners anymore, dog. I just took 6 quarterbacks, and I didn't take any corners. I'm not worried about your quarterbacks beating my mid-corners on my roster already. I don't got to go get a guy. I'll go get an O-lineman. I'll go get a wide out. I'll go get a quarterback. I'll go get a D lineman. I'll build it the inside out and not worry about it. Dog, I really see that happening, and GMs and coaches are like, you know what? We made the rules to benefit the QB. We've made the rules to benefit the offense. We've had the lowest production on offense, the lowest production at quarterback. Look at just over the last few years. It's a telltale sign, Smitty. I'm telling you, I would draft a corner early right now. No way in my life. Unless there's a Dion walking around out here, like a goddamn Charles Woodson or somebody.
Right, Darrell Reeves.
There's just no reason. The quarterback position is recyclable business now. It is turnover after turnover. Like, you've never seen this shit like this. I'm telling you, no one's going to mention it on mainstream media. No one's going to talk about it. It is what it is. The 6 quarterbacks taken, dog. I'm just telling you, it seems like it's so glaring that these organizations are screaming, Smitty, screaming out like, we are in trouble. And Arthur Blank clearly did not realize or know that their organization that he owns was taking a quarterback at 8.
I saw the video.
It got me some money, made me money. Winner chicken dinner on my picks. But I'm just saying, dog. Like, listen. Go ahead and give me your take so we can dive straight into that Kirk Cousins thing, because I want to ask.
Yeah, I mean, you make an interesting point. I mean, I just think that, one, you asked initially, like, why do I think they drafted like 6 quarterbacks? I just think that it's a sign that these teams messed up in previous drafts, to where, like you said, because the quarterback play has, dropped in overall, people have made some bad decisions at the QB position. Now they're trying to roll the dice again, and there was a lot of names in this quarterback draft. Now, again, will they all go out here and ball out? I doubt it, because it never turns out that way. Probably 2 of them will actually have like really, really good careers. You might have a third one that's like average, and the other few will probably be bad and be out the league. But as an organization, obviously we know quarterback is the most important position. So if you've made a mistake in the previous year's drafts and you think you got an opportunity to right your wrongs, then that's what you're going to do. So I'm not surprised about that piece. The corner piece, though, I think it was 2 corners drafted, Terrion Arnold, I think, and then Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. And you make a point about quarterback play not being that good and teams feeling like they don't need corners, but also I think that a lot of good corners have gotten picked up in the last couple of years. Last few drafts. I know last year alone in the first round, four corners were drafted and picked up in last year's draft. So and think about a corner. Once you get an actual lockdown, really good young corner, like you're like you're solid. It's not like the corners can play 10 years strong and they're good and you're gonna be locked in. So I just think it's not as much of a need.
Let me help correct you, since
go ahead.
We are on the show. We want to be sure we're telling everybody out here some real shit.
Of course,
you are right about certain things you just said, but the lack of corners being drafted is not right. Can't be. You have to match corner for receiver. Receivers are taken more than any other position in the league. You got to take corners. Corners are taken every year. Corners, nickels, safeties. The safety, the drop-down box safety will be eliminated in 2 years, I think.
Right. But corners, also, JB, it's just the first round, though. Corners, corners a position you can get. We can get they're going to go deep in corners, second round, third, fourth.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to get corners in round one.
Gardners floating around. There's no Sauce Gardners in this draft. This draft, I'm telling you, this is one of the worst drafts I've ever seen, dog, as far as just straight talent-wise. Like, I don't see any freak of natures walking around. Last year, we had those guys. The last 2 years, at least you had guys like, all right, fuck, Bijan Robinson's a dude. Fucking, Sauce Gardner's dude. The next Champ Bailey. I mean, there's guys that we've seen. This year, let me dive in a little deeper.
Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, they stay good now. You still got Kool-Aid. You still got Kool-Aid McKinstry out there.
We'll see. I could be wrong, but what I'm saying is, I didn't watch football in college last year either, and I knew Sauce Gardner was.
Right.
I don't know these fucking guys.
But hold on. In all fairness, Marvin Harrison Jr. Malik Neighbors. Caleb Williams. Drake May. the Heisman winner. Like, let's.
I don't know the Kool-Aid kid. I get it, but look, let me ask you, like last couple of years, you had Surtain, fucking dude. Yeah. You had what's his name, son? The other son for God damn it.
Talk to me.
I forgot his name. The other corner.
It's cool. Keep going. Fuck it. We'll figure it out.
But anyway, you've had all these
Porter.
Porter.
It's my Porter Jr.
Porter Jr., the kid out of Oregon, what was his name? Gonzalez, or he got hurt?
Yeah.
New England?
Yeah. Gonzalez.
Samuel Jr. Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante Samuel Jr., yeah.
You had some dudes. And by the way, they're all sons of dudes.
Yep.
They're not just. True. So I looking at this draft, dog, and I'm like, man, we become like, let me dive into something deep, though. Yeah, the Weatherspoon kid went number 5 last year. Like, just look at the picks. Christian Gonzalez kid. Like, look at these picks. So let me ask you. College football has a huge effect on it. And it's the transfer portal that I believe is the reason. So, number one, now these NFL teams are having to go find guys that played at 3 to 4 possible schools. Gather that film. 3 to 4 possibly different leagues, 3 and 4 possible different talent levels as a whole. Now I got to sit here and evaluate the MAC wideouts and offensive schematics versus the SEC versus the Pac-12 because this kid played at 3 schools. So now I'm like, he didn't look too hot at Alabama. He dominated at Akron, and then he was mid at Oregon.
Right.
That has to fuck with a GM and a head coach, dog. Like, fuck, how good is this motherfucker? And then you throw in Smitty on top of that. I don't want to do the combine.
Right.
I got a real skewed evaluation on you. Now you ain't going to show up and do the combine. All I get to see is your pro day. If you do that, can't tell me, dog. I'm telling you, I'm onto something. I can't wait to have some of these guys on and ask that question. I truly think I'm onto something. There is something going on, and I think it starts. I know it starts at college, but all the moving around has to affect. And I'm going to bring on Lombardi. We're going to have Lombardi on next week, and let's ask him, as a former GM, what he thinks about that take, because there has to be a take, dog. He's told me already it would be a nightmare for him to evaluate someone at this time. We didn't get into why, but I'm wondering if that's why. So It's very interesting. I'm telling you, it's It's got to slow down the process, dog, of evaluation. It has to. Let's dive into this Kirk Cousins deal. It's funny that everyone found the video of me saying that, you know, a lefty can fall because he's a lefty, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What was wrong? What do I say? This is age well. Back to the age well shit.
Yeah.
So who the fuck picked Penix to go to the Falcons? Raise your hand, number one. Number two, all I did was break down the lefty, Smitty, as to why he couldn't go, why he would not be highly picked if the 16 of the 32 teams already eliminated, which they did. The Falcons make sense to me in a few ways. Everyone else is just castrating the organization and Raheem and everybody else. What's your take on this?
I mean, I was shocked. Like you said, none of us assumed this or guessed this at all. I seen a lot. I looked at a lot of mock drafts from, you know, NFL Network, people at Fox, you know, et cetera, and nobody really said this. So, like, as you see right here, it was a surprise to even Kirk and his team as well. And it sounds like he's not really happy either. But for me, looking back at it now, I do think it's actually a win situation. As long as Kirk can be mature and handle the fact that he has a young guy behind him. He's not, I mean, Michael Penix isn't starting right away. I think him sitting behind Kirk for like 2 years, you know what I'm saying? A year, maybe, I don't know, and really learning and figuring out, you know, how the NFL works, I think is a perfect segue for when Kirk Cousins does move on or whatever the case may be. Michael Penix can step straight into it, feel confident, feel comfortable, and it'll be a seamless fit. You know, add him along with all that other young talent already there that I've been talking about the last couple of days with, you know, Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London, etc. Obviously, it's Atlanta, you know, having a black QB in Atlanta, just being real from a cultural standpoint. The fans will embrace him. He's already from Tampa anyway, down south. So that's just a good fit. I mean, looking back at it now, I was shocked, but to me, it actually makes sense.
Here's why it don't make sense.
Okay.
I don't mind the take. I like Penix and all that. I've told you I broke him down before, and I've said why, but I said also why I wouldn't take him early. We've had both discussions. Here's why it doesn't make sense. I think he's one of, if not the oldest QB in this draft.
Probably him or both, probably. We
brought, I think he's older than him. I think he's 25, about to be 26, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Let me. Please, somebody look that up. Bo Nix, I think, is 24.
Yeah, he's 24. I know that for sure. Nah, Penix is 23.
23. Okay,
he turns 24 in like 2 weeks.
Okay, so he's 24 by the season.
Yeah.
So he's 24 years old. So you're drafting a kid that's 24 to back up a guy you paid $100 million to. So in theory, if this guy earns his money that you paid him, he won't play till he's 27, 28.
Right.
So he's guaranteed. Kirk Cousins is guaranteed 2 years, but listen, he's on a 2-year, $100 million deal
basically,
that extends to 4 years if it all works out right. The thing is, they want to get their dollar. They want to get their ROI on this $100 million. That's what organizations should do.
Yep.
And it's all guaranteed money, by the way. So why wouldn't you better the team for an aging Kirk Cousins on a $100 million deal to win instantly? Like that bothers me. The second part is go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so real. Maybe they're just being real. Like maybe they're like, you know what, Kirk Cousins is an expensive stopgap, meaning that we've watched his entire career. We all have. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, or like a really good quarterback, but that's as far as it goes. He's not a guy that's going to get you over the hump necessarily. He's not a guy that's going to take you to a Super Bowl. He's probably not a guy that's going to take you to an NFC championship, but he is a guy that will win you a lot of regular season games, and he's a guy who can get you to the playoffs and maybe to a divisional round. And for the Atlanta Falcons, that's a huge jump. So short term, a 2-year deal. Let's say Atlanta makes it to the playoffs both years, you know what I'm saying, win a playoff game. That would be a huge step in the right direction. Now, 2 years pass, Kirk Cousins is old. All right, let's move on. You bring in Michael Penix, young, but now he has experience. and he might be the secret sauce, secret weapon to take that thing from a 10-11 game winning season and division round team to the promised land. Obviously, it's a risk. You never know. But we've seen quarterbacks have to sit behind veteran guys, and it worked out. Obviously, the biggest example, you go back, Aaron Rodgers, but then you got Patrick Mahomes behind Alex Smith. You know, you got Jalen Hurts, even Justin Herbert sat behind Lamar Jackson. A lot of these cats sat behind.
I think you're
people
getting ahead of yourself. Let's just stay. I just want to stay with you to pick your brain on the Falcons.
Stay with me.
The Falcons only. Don't even go outside of the Falcons.
All right, my fault.
No. I'm just saying because I want to bring something up.
Yeah.
Didn't they just draft Desmond Ridder?
They did.
Why would you go down the same fucking rabbit hole? You just drafted a quarterback and gave him away for fucking Chico stick and string cheese. Why did you just draft another quarterback, Smitty? Let me be honest here. I think Penix is night and day over Desmond fucking Ridder. Number one. Number two, though, if it ain't number one, then you don't take a quarterback when you just signed a $100 million quarterback. Like, I just want to be clear. And then I could see, okay, we just got rid of this quarterback. And you just do it. We turn around and do it again. This is the rationale that it's in my head right now as a coach and as a play caller. I'm sitting here like, Kirk Cousins coming off a fucking Achilles.
Yeah.
Dr. Jesse Morris came on the show last night and broke down every injury in Michael Penix Jr.'s body. It's fucking alarming. You got 2 injury-prone QBs that you wasted $100 million on, plus a rookie deal that's going to be some millions on Penix. What happens, Smitty, if, God forbid, knock on wood, I don't wish on anybody to get hurt, Kirk Cousins has a relapse with the leg. Penix comes in, blows out his knee that he's already blown out 3 times. Where are you at as an organization then?
Hey, that's life. That's football, JB. That's football. At the end of the day, I can't move with the mindset of, this guy about to get hurt. Like, anybody could get hurt. I understand when we use this term injury prone.
Not moving that way.
But, like, at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't think Aaron Rodgers was going to tear his Achilles on play number 3.
No, I'm not.
He never gets hurt. But shit just happens, though.
But
it just happens.
Yeah, but he did.
Kirk Cousins isn't injury prone. I wouldn't call him injury prone.
But he did. See, the problem is it's not about – your point is well taken. Yeah, no doubt. You know, I've never operated that way. But they did.
Right.
Just months ago. Like, this is brand new, fresh. He just is coming off it. Kirk Cousins couldn't play right now.
Right. He couldn't.
So you got a quarterback that's not even cleared right now. And you just signed another dude that's had 3 of those, 3 shoulders.
Get a shoulder and 2 knees, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's had 2 shoulders, non-throwing and throwing. And he's had 3 knees, 2 on his left plant leg and 1 on his other leg.
But he's been listen, he's been healthy for the last 2 years though. And I hear you, like he got hurt and like it happened. We can't erase that. But he's been healthy the last 2 years overall. So at some point, it's like, all right, bro. Like I showed you, like he still runs a fucking 4.4. So obviously the knee is intact and good and well.
I mean, Adrian Peterson came back stronger than ever after it. You can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you got a history, and it's listen, kudos to taking them. I don't care. I like big nuts. Drop them. Fuck it. Take them. I don't care. Kudos to it. I like Penix as a kid. Got to hang out with him in Vegas. I like the kid. I knew his uncle. Good kid. Shout out. I'm just thinking as a building a pro organization in the NFL level, especially when the quarterback position is floundering, in my opinion. I just don't see the pick. I see O-line available at 8. I see a pass rusher available at 8. God, I'm glad I'll take my money. $5,800, I'll take the money. But I'm just saying, I was really shocked. I was thinking they're trading it. I thought I was going to win another way. Not you take Michael Penix, homie. Right. I was like, shit. And I'm telling you, this is the same GM, though, that took Ridder, right? I think so, it is. Yeah. I think it is. And we don't have audio on the whole Arthur Blank thing and all that. But I'm telling you, I don't think he knew.
You don't think you know, JB?
I don't think he knew.
Ooh, hey.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew. But let me ask you something. Back to your culture take.
Yeah.
Atlanta's the blackest city in America?
It's blackety black.
Is this straight up just a culture grab pick that they're saying we got to reinvent the wheel and redo this whole Michael Vick thing and bring Michael Vick back? A lefty, he can run. We don't see him run, but he can run. We know. Shaun King recruited him since high school, said he's the best athlete in this draft by far.
Yep.
Is it just is that why? And Arthur Blank's sitting there like, what the fuck's going on? I shared a tweet with you from somebody that knows somebody, and somebody there is not very happy. So,
I mean, listen, this is a business, and selling tickets is part of that. I don't think they just picked them that high just to sell tickets, but I think it's, again, 2 things, 3 things, 4 things at times can be true. And I think, one, I'm high on Michael Penix. I've always, like, we've had conversations on here. I'm like, listen, I don't know why Michael Penix is, like, not getting the love that I think he deserves, because this man balled out all season long.
You're drafting. You're taking him at 8, building an organization. You're taking him at 8. You just signed Kirk Cousins. Be real.
Well, if I just signed a quarterback for $100+ million, I'm not. Because I'm thinking more so about.
So you can be high on him, but we're talking about number 8. I mean, we're not talking about 35. Michael Penix gets off the board, and then we could have went higher. We thought he should have went higher. Yeah. He went at 8.
Yeah, I mean, I think he went at 8 though, because the Falcons knew if they did not pick him, I think the Falcons wanted him, right? But they knew that, listen, if we don't pick him at 8, the Vikings, the Broncos, somebody's going to grab him. So I think it's a matter of like for example, like during the Lamar Jackson draft, he got picked at like the end of the first round. The Ravens' first pick, they went with the tight end, and then they came back around and said, "Oh shit, Lamar's still here. Fuck it, let's get him." The Falcons weren't in that position to do that, so I think for them, they like shit. Like our offense already loaded on paper, and we got fucking Kyle Pitts, Drake London. We really don't need nobody on offense right now. Kirk is there for now. Shit, let's just grab Penix while we can, because if not, he won't be on the board. Because again, I could really see Penix in 2 years taking over this job and being like a guy. I'm not saying Hall of Fame, but I can see him being like a really good ass quarterback in this league. And we'll look back and be like, damn, that was a good ass move by the Falcons. Like, but right now it just sounds crazy.
The history of the NFL tells me otherwise, though. The history of the NFL doesn't show me a 26, 27, 28-year-old taking his first snaps being successful in this league.
How old was Aaron Rodgers?
How old was Aaron?
Yeah. He had to be around 26.
No, when he was drafted?
No. Once he started playing. That's what you just said. Because, I mean, Penix is only 23 right now. So, like, you're talking about once he starts playing on the field.
Yeah. Even see, this is the thing. This is how the game's changed. Aaron Rodgers went JUCO. Back in our day, JUCO players were always like the older guys.
Right, of course.
But Aaron went JUCO right out of high school. He goes straight to Cal, and he's in the league. He was in the league still at 21, 22. So he played at 4, 25?
Probably somewhere. Gotta be. I'm just guessing. So that's somewhere around there.
Yeah, so, I mean, you fucking me up with that question because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Like, it's an anomaly, a difference. Like, we've seen the 28-year-olds that have failed as far as the Chris Winkies at 28 and the Brandon Whedons at 28 coming out of Oklahoma State and all these older guys that have struggled in the NFL. First of all, your body ages, dog. I don't care. Look at LeBron James. The body ages. And although I say all the time, let them sit through osmosis, learn. But not now in the transfer portal era. These kids are 24, 25 years old coming out of college. They can't sit no more, Smitty. That is why they're recycling them. You can't sit them no more. That's why you're seeing rookies playing at an all-time high right now at quarterback on shitty rosters, and that's why we're seeing a bad product.
Right.
Like, you're force-feeding this square peg into a round hole here. You're not coaching them in college. You're letting them transfer 4 or 5 times. They're 24 and 25 years old, and now you're putting them in the fire as an older kid without ever playing. Even though you're older, doesn't mean you're better right away in this league. It's a man's league at the end of the day, and you're coming into a whole new world. So, goddamn, dog. I don't know. It's very interesting to say the least.
It definitely is.
I don't know. Who's your I don't know, Bailey, if you could pull up the draft board, our board we made. Who is your winners and who are your losers? Before we get into the best available today, round 2.
I mean, off the top of the head, winners. I mean, I got to start off with the Bears again. For everything we've said about Caleb Williams, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be as Hall of Fame level as a lot of people are saying, but I do think he's going to be a really good quarterback, especially in today's era and style of play and the weapons and people that he has around him. I mean, getting Rome Aduze and getting Caleb on top of all the cats you got with Swift and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, and like that team is loaded. So I gotta say the Bears number 1. Washington with Jane Daniels. I think Jane Daniels gonna be really good. My coach, I'm not trying to be biased. We had the number 1 pick for defensive players. Like it was 14 straight offensive players, and then 15 comes along my coach, and we get Latu, who I think is the best edge rusher out of this draft. A kid that's humble and hungry. You put him alongside DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Kwity Paye in the league where you got all this talented mobile quarterbacks, especially in our division with CJ Stroud, even Trevor Lawrence over there. You need pass rushers. So I think the coach got a huge one. You see Latu right here. Inside move. Slide. He's so active. Like he just constantly his engine doesn't stop. Reminds me of Max Crosby when it comes to that piece. Rushes on the outside, up and unders, active hands. You hear about this kid's story too, man. He wasn't even supposed to continue to play ball, had that neck injury, and got the same surgeon that helped out Peyton Manning, which is kind of ironic that he comes to Indy. So that's huge there. I'm trying to think who else got a pick that I really appreciated, really loved. Here we go, right here. You know what? I actually like the Brock Bowers move too to the right. I know they have Michael Mayer, if I'm not mistaken, from Notre Dame, but like you've talked about this a little bit yesterday, that in today's game, that 2 tight end set, especially for QBs, a young quarterback like O'Connell, that can truly just help him out in the passing game, obviously in the running game as well, going to 21% or 22 personnel, heavy body personnel as well. And I think Brock Bowers is a beast. I think he's a George Kittle type-esque player, so I think that really helps out AP and that Raiders team as well.
We'll dive into that. I think that's the best pick of the draft.
Oh, okay. That's perfect transition there.
And there's reason why. And I'll break the whole thing down. Let's start from the top down, and we'll go through this whole first round. Caleb Williams, we already know what I feel about him. To be determined. Let's see you go out and ball and win. Let's see you win. I don't care if you paint your nose. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm over it. Go fucking show me that you can win a big game, because you did it in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see you lead the men in a locker room to – we don't expect the Bears to win the fucking Super Bowl. The Bears, just so you know, the Bears were not a quarterback or a receiver away from being Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
They're a fucking team away. And that's why I would have kept Justin Fields and traded for assets. That's just me. That's Sean King. That's a lot of us, Tank Johnson. But now it's done. So you got to go with it. Now,
did you appreciate real quick when he walked out on there? Because part of me and some other evaluators when it comes to Caleb Williams, like our opinion was that, man, like, is this guy kind of cocky? Some of the things he did, like in his demeanor at pro day and combine, but seeing him on the drag yesterday, like obviously he knew he was going number 1, but him still showing that authentic like excitement and coming out there and is ready to like I don't know, like I appreciated that as a former player. It's like, okay, he didn't come out here like I'm better than everybody. He came out here and embraced the moment and was excited to be a Bear. As a coach, do you appreciate that, or did that do nothing for you at all?
Nah, as a former coach, seeing I still call these babies.
Yeah.
Seeing them get drafted and called out on the carpet. I've been to 3 of these drafts. I've had players in the first round, so I've actually been in the green room with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if I know you or not. I love seeing these kids get their name called. They're 1%er. They'll do what 99% of the world will never do. especially the game, what most of us go through. Even though I critique the shit out of the game now as what it is, it's football. We still go through it. I have nothing but like it shows me like it touches me in some way that all these kids got drafted. I don't even know half of them. So
right.
That's that. I have no issue with that. Every year I feel that way. And now it's to be determined as we go in and start judging them, right?
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels at number 2. If I were to have to guess out of the 6 QBs based on the team that he was selected to, he'd be the most. I guess I would say he has the best shot at being like a Pro Bowler, I would say, or a good quarterback.
Rookie of the year, I can see that. Like,
maybe it depends because that team, at least he has some tools on that team.
He got Austin Eckler. I forgot about that. Brian Robinson's still there. Terry McLaurin from my city. Jahan Dotson. Like Zach Ertz, he's older, but he got some cats over there though for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Chicago got a rookie wideout. You got Keenan Allen. So I like number 9 pick better than number 1, but I think Keenan Allen will coach that kid up. That's a good get. You got to get a wideout to be under Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's on a 1-year deal. He's older. He's on the other side of greatness, I think, even though I still think he's great. So that's where that is with me. And then you got Drake May.
Ooh, that's the one where I'm like, man, I don't know.
I mean, nobody knows about any of them. I mean, we don't know about any of them. So it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm going to break down the Raiders pick with Brock Bowers real quick before Matt, because a lot of cats won't talk about it. I talked about it briefly last night, but the common fan keeps mentioning, not you, common fan, but you. I don't think you think of it as a coaching perspective because you mentioned it already on the show. Well, they got Mayer. Mm-hmm. You guys say it like, why do you draft a tight end if I have a tight end? That's not how you think as a coach, or especially in this. Let me break it down. So you need 2, maybe 3 legitimate tight ends. It's not just for offensive formations. It is for depth, and it is for dynamic play calling. Because when you get tight ends in the game and you make sure you extend the line of scrimmage and you add an extra gap to the line of scrimmage, it creates a bunch of different things for defensive coordinators and defensive linemen to understand what gap that is I'm in. So you extend that. You make that happen. You add gaps, which is a huge thing, especially when you play an odd front team. So that was always my thing. Get 2 tight ends, even if they're Waller types, athletic, move, etc. In this case, people keep saying, why did they draft him? They got Mayer. They drafted him because they didn't draft a QB. They're going with a basic rookie. Mm-hmm. And Aiden O'Connell, I would expect to be the starter. I would expect Minshew to continue to stay in his role. I think he's a great backup, and I think he understands that. Aiden O'Connell got his feet wet last year. AP, as knowing AP as I do, and Antonio Pierce going to work this thing inside out. Meaning, I got Devontae Adams. I'm a defensive guy who's learned from Tom Coughlin how to build a organization from inside out. We know how to win Super Bowls. I've won a couple in New York. I know what it takes. Great defensive line, great corners, play tough, nasty defense, run the football with Tiki Barber, run the football with Ron Dane, run the football and play action pass with all the quarterbacks that he went through in his era. Now, fast forward to the Raiders. I got a rookie basically coming back with Devontae Adams. I got to get a running back. They did get one, but we're going to see who their run game is.
They got that strong cat, right? That real strong.
Yeah. I'm going to play good defense. I'm going to get another tight end that's a safety net for my rookie QB. And I'm going to get in 2 personnel tight end sets. And what that's going to do is dictate the coverage for my quarterback, because the 2 safeties, these 2 tight ends are not just 2 fucking stiff, slow whites. Mm-mm. This is a mismatch nightmare in Brock Bowers on any linebacker in the NFL. I don't care who. In any safety, too, for that matter. Mayer's the same way, to be honest. He got hurt a little bit, but he's very similar.
2 best tight ends in the last 2 years on your team right now.
Now I take Davante Adams and I put him wherever I want to put him, and he's isolated. He's isolated, Smitty, and I don't have to worry about rotational coverage because I got 2 tight ends and two tight end sets that now I can run one-on-one games with my QB, and I don't have to teach him so much that, listen, if the alley gets cloudy, fucking come back to your tight end. If it's fucking vacant, throw to Davante fucking Adams all day long. And if we got a light box, check run. Like, this is real simple to do if you understand how you're building this team. So AP knows it, understands it. I'm going to get this, dictate the coverage with a rookie Q, and I'm going to eat with Davante Adams out here with a young quarterback. I'm going to get 2 tight ends involved, and I think it's the best pick overall for their situation. Remember, they're the last team to beat the Chiefs. And they are in that West, and the Chargers knew this is a 2 to 3 year build. I think Harbaugh knows. Harbaugh's there for the long run. He wants to retire there. He wants to retire in the NFL. He's not here just to try to win a Super Bowl this year. He knows how to win and build a program. He's building from the inside out too. Harbaugh understands. He went and got, by the way, Jeff Nadu called it, Joe Alt. I don't think he's the best O-lineman, but he does make the most sense for that team and Jim Harbaugh. So you go get Joe Alt. He's probably a right tackle. He's probably a right tackle in the NFL. So now you have 2 legitimate tackles because they got Slater.
Rashawn, is it Rashawn Slater? I believe
so. He's going to be left. You're going to move all to right. You got 2 big-time tackles now. So you solidified up front for Joe Herbert. Remember, Joe 6'8", 320. He'll get down to probably 315, so you can transition him to left over some years when Slater's done. Remember, Joe Herbert 6'5", 6'6".
Justin Herbert, yep.
Justin Herbert. It's not like it's Caleb. You don't have a 6-footer back here. So you go get big, physical guys up front.
Yeah.
I want to run the football. I'm going to run play action.
Must be a big time trade. Must have just happened. Oh, it's a guess. Oh, shoot. I didn't know what just happened right there. That had me nervous. I didn't know what just happened.
I thought breaking news happened.
Me too. I was like, oh.
What up, Matt? Hey, we're just breaking down the first round draft, Matt. I was breaking down the Raiders in specific. I thought they had the steal of the draft in Brock Bowers. I think it's the best fit for that particular team and that coach. We kind of, you and I touched on it last night. I just kind of broke it down to Smitty the same way. I think it's the best pick of the draft. But before we get to that, I want to start off with you with my monologue as far as I introduced the show. I introduced the show. 6 QBs were taken in the first round, first time since '83. I want to be clear, this isn't the '83 draft. Yes, we don't know that for fact. We'll have to see these guys play. We'll have to see them play. It's not '83 yet. But to me, why, in your opinion, is 6 quarterbacks taken compared to basically 2 cornerbacks when usually it's the other way around? And I have a take, and I want to get your take on it. I asked Weddle last night. If the quarterback position is floundering, as you and I both agree to, it's not really the greatest, and it's kind of sliding year by year. If I'm a GM or a coach, Matt, you and I know building a team, we get lockdown corners, you get good D linemen, and you get your quarterback. That's how you build a roster. The D line and the corners are to get to the quarterback if you're on that side of the ball, and the quarterback is to beat those 2 corners that are really good if you're on the quarterback side of the ball. If the quarterbacks aren't beating these corners anymore with the throwing ability and just understanding the knowledge, why would you draft a corner? I wouldn't. If the quarterbacks are getting worse, I'm building my team with O-line, D-line, wideouts, QBs, as we saw 6 taken, and I wouldn't draft a corner anymore. I'm just telling you, not that early, I'm saying. So, like, do you see anything to that at all?
I mean, look, if there's an elite generational corner on the board and you need one, I'm taking it.
Sauce Gardner, whatever.
Yeah, Surtain, like, I'm not going to just sit there and be like, well, the quarterbacks aren't very good, so we can have some shitty, fucking corner out here that's playing. Like, that ain't going to work. Look, the phenomenon is crazy to me, but at the same time, it's not like these 6 kids are scrubs. Let's be real. They're they were all really good players in college. They all have upside. Of course, they all have the potential to bust, but they also all have the potential to hit. Now, they're not all going to. I mean, the Mayfield draft, when all those guys went, what was that? That was 4 quarterbacks or whatever it was. That you could say 2 of the 4 hit. I mean, in Mayfield, I'm sure you would disagree with that, but there's no disagreeing with the fact that a lot of these quarterbacks, struggle. A lot of it is where you go. And a lot of these guys went to places that have notoriously struggled like developing quarterbacks, and some of these guys went to places with coaches where all they do is develop quarterbacks. So,
but Matt, not to cut you off, but we're redrafting the same position 2 and 3 years after we just drafted.
You have to. Position. If you don't have a guy, you're fucked, and you can't just.
I'm saying. So who do you blame? Evaluation? Are you blaming the process? Or are you blaming the GMs that? By the way, there's only 2 GMs in football in the NFL, Matt, that played football. So I look at that and I got to question that, number one. Number 2, are we lacking the development at the college level, which I think you developed a quarterback to get ready for the NFL, obviously. Do you see a huge lack dealing with kids that come to you and you're like, fuck, you're being taught that at Oregon? You're being taught that at...
I don't think it's what they're doing in college. The college game is different. You can exploit more because there's worse athletes on defense. But look, it's on the professional coaches used to be about development. Like I know this because I got moved positions. Like it was all about developing players back in the day. And now it's about accumulating players. And if they develop, then we'll re-sign them. But if they don't develop, it's their fault. And because they're on rookie contracts and they're cheap, we can just get rid of them or redraft a quarterback next year. So just using the Broncos, okay, here in Denver. I know I'm wearing a Jets hoodie this morning, but whatever. If Bo Nix doesn't work, you can draft another quarterback next year and your cap isn't destroyed. There's no more bonus payments here. So
JB.
I mean, it's just what it is.
No, he's right. He's right.
Look, that's exactly what Arizona. It doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to be like that. But Arizona did it 4 or 5 years ago.
They kept doing.
They took Rosen,
yeah,
and then the next year they took Kyler Murray and got rid of Josh Rosen. So
yeah,
it's not as if you swing big and miss these days, you can swing big the next year and it won't destroy you. I mean, Arizona was in playoff contention the next 2 years that they got rid of Josh Rosen and brought in Kyler. So it's so much of the quarterback position these days is cheap labor. Like it's the ability to put a young, relatively good quarterback that can play the system on a team that is loaded.
Yeah,
with offensive and defensive linemen, they can run the ball, they can play defense, they got veterans, but then it's a young quarterback at the helm, and that's and he's on a rookie contract. Then you can go out and spend money on the rest of your team. I think that's what all these teams are trying to do. They're trying to repeat that. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. It's only going to work really for one team because that team's going to win. But looking at the 6 quarterbacks, Caleb Williams in Chicago. Look, he's got to overcome the Chicago quarterback curse. And if he does, then hats off to you, bro. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer. Their best quarterback is probably Jim McMahon, and he was a fucking linebacker. Jaden Daniels going to Washington. He has to overcome FedEx Field and an inept fan base that's pissed off about their name and, a team that never seems like they can put it all together, that loses all of their great players. If you're a great player,
ownership, yeah,
new ownership. If you're a great player in Washington, you're probably going to hit free agency, or they're going to trade you. I mean, they're just now retiring Darryl Green's number. If you look at Drake May at the 3rd spot, he needs to develop his. Like I was watching Belichick last night talk about his footwork, and I was like, okay, he's got a point. Now it's just a couple of clips. It's not like every clip's bad footwork. He was trying to evade the rush, but he needs to develop, and he's going to be, he's in a position where at least he can sit behind Brissett and see what it's like, but that won't last long. You guys understand that the goddamn fan bases aren't going to allow anybody to just sit.
Right.
And then after those three go, the Penix to Atlanta thing is maybe one of the most. It was like when the Broncos picked Tommy Maddox and they had John Elway. Like, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is John Elway, but he got $130 million, and he's bona fide in the league. He really knows how to play the position. I'm not saying Penix can't play. Both of them can play. What did you see the? Did you see the GM, dude? Look at this. The more hand movement, the worse the conversation is.
Yeah, we got. So we've dove into this a little bit.
We gotta translate this at some point before the show's over, JB. Like, we gotta translate that conversation. So keep that in the back of your mind.
I'm telling you, we should all pick a different dude.
Yeah.
And then you're the owner. You're what is that? Terry Fontenot? Is that his name or something like that?
Yeah. Something
Tony
like
Fontenot.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like one of the guys in the back that's just kind of looking in, like, hey, coach fucked up.
One of the billionaires.
Yeah, here we go. Here's Arthur Smith. What the fuck did you just do? I just paid him $130 million.
Well, okay, good point. But see, the thing is, though, we need depth at the quarterback position.
Oh, depth. Yeah, but I thought we were trying to win now. I mean, and I put my hands in my pockets, so now you know you're really fucked.
But Kirk hurt his Achilles, so we're not for sure if he's going to be back.
So why did you sign him $130 million if he got a hurt Achilles and we were just going to pick a rookie quarterback anyway? That doesn't make any sense, Coach.
I don't know. Look at JB in the back.
I don't know. There's 31 other teams, and I can go get another job.
I'm the guy in the gray shirt.
Right.
You're the guy in the back that just turned around like, it was my idea, and I'm not taking the blame for this shit.
I'm the guy in the gray shirt. I'm the guy in the gray shirt who's a nobody, but I'm listening to the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm the one leaking it on TikTok. I'm leaking on TikTok tonight.
Right.
He was the one in the meeting that was like, Coach, Michael Penix Jr. is still available. And he was like, oh, I like that kid. He's like, Kurt's hurt. He's hurt. Drop the kid. Good idea, kid. And then he just got up and left.
We got two takes on this. First of all, I want to ask you straight up. Number one.
Straight up.
You just fucking drafted a guy named Desmond Ridder, did you not?
Yeah, I think last year, right? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
And you got rid of him. You got rid of him for Chico Stick and String Cheese.
Well, and that's what he's worth.
You just did another quarterback after signing another quarterback, and now you're looking for another quarterback. Make it make sense. That's Tropical Thunder, Smitty. You don't know about that movie. So,
well, look, they're dressed up as one guy trying to be another guy dressed up as another dude. I
listen. I'm telling you, dog. Like, why do you get this kid? All right, let me keep going, Matt, because I want to get your take on this because I know it's going to be informative. You drafted a 24-year-old who won't play until
he's old.
He won't. By the way, Jesse Morse,
my age.
You were on with Jesse Morse last night, Matt. This guy has had 3 reconstructive knees, 2 reconstructive shoulders, and you took him in the draft in the first round. You got to pay him first-round dollars, top 10 first-round dollars. And then you got a 24-year-old who won't play till he's 27 maybe, and you got a guy who's coming off an Achilles you paid $130 million to, who's not even cleared to play right now if we had to play today. Kirk Cousins could not play.
What I think is going to happen is they're either going to PUP Kirk Cousins and roll with the rookie and then have a big-time quarterback controversy.
How long in year 1?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure. Okay.
Or
Blank's firing everybody.
This is going to be a fucking competition, and the loser becomes trade bait. Just think about opportunities that have happened like this in the NFL. Joe Montana, Steve Young, fucking Phil Rivers, and Drew Brees. All right, guy. I'm sure there's other examples, but those are the two most probable.
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Favre and Rodgers. Yeah, but that's true. But Favre's at the end of his road, but still same thing.
Yeah.
Mahomes, Alex Smith.
Same thing. All right. 2 quality quarterbacks on your roster. One of them is getting moved, bro. Not both of them aren't making it. Now, Coach came up with the weirdest conspiracy theory I've ever heard last night, and I was like thinking about it at night. the Falcons GM is homeboys with Antonio Pierce, and they wanted Michael Penix, so they picked Michael Penix for the Raiders. just so you could.
No. Raheem Morris.
Raheem's more. Yeah, they're boys.
They're real tight. And so, Smitty, what I said was, I would not be shocked. Now, I'm not saying he drafted him to hold him just to give him to him. I'm saying sometimes I have known to see I'll rub each other's back, homies. I'll take that motherfucker off the board for you, but I want X, Y, and Z in return in the next round, and I'll give you Penix or whatever. If AP and him were to talk, like me and you, like, hey, dog,
right.
What are you gonna do? Like, what do you really need? Now, what alarms me with that, Matt, is you needed drastic pass rushers on your roster, and you needed some assets, didn't you, in Atlanta? Like you didn't help Kirk Cousins. You didn't help Kirk Cousins at all.
I would have been building around Kirk. Trey Hendrickson is out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and trade for him at some point during the draft. I just look. This is one of the most confusing draft picks I've ever seen.
It's one of the most confusing drafts I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, I mean the other
it was
5
just
teams,
it was like a blah. It was the worst.
The other 5 teams needed quarterbacks. The Falcons did not. They all solved this problem, so it doesn't make any sense. So it's if anything, they should have at this point they should have just picked Bowers or somebody else to put with Pitts or whatever, and given Kirk Cousins some weapons because there was plenty of people available at that point.
Let me dive into something deeper. And I want to ask you this. We talked about it a little bit, and I told Smitty I wanted to ask you, do you see the transfer portal becoming a huge issue in evaluation for the NFL GMs? I got a message, and it alarmed me a little bit. If Matt McChesney is at Colorado, he transfers to Oklahoma, and then he ends up at Akron. There's 3 different levels. 3 different levels of competition that man's going against. So I have to evaluate the player at each school, the talent he's going against, the league, and then everything in between as far as background character checks and all that the NFL securities do, and they call me every year for players. Do you see that being a huge issue? I'm going to have Lombardi on to talk about it, but I think that's a huge issue, especially when you're looking for diamonds in the rough, corners, guys like that have played at 3 or 4 schools, and now I got to evaluate them at Alabama and the SEC. And I'm like, damn, he didn't really do good, Matt, against Georgia and the SEC. But he balled out at Akron, and then he was kind of mid at Oregon in the Pac-12. Like, that has to slow down. Like, holy fuck, man, I don't know how high this guy's on our board. And then you compile that, Matt, with, hey, GM, I'm not gonna do the combine. Oh, what? So now I don't get to evaluate you at the combine, and I have to evaluate you at 4 different schools. I think it's becoming a bigger issue than anyone's going to talk about on mainstream media, and that's why we're the realest show, and I think it's a good topic to break down with you. I just don't think anyone thought of that. I think that's a huge deal. All I get to really see you on, besides the 3 or 4 different conferences you play in, Matt, is your pro day, hopefully that you attend. And now I'm making a crapshoot in this thing, which it already is a crapshoot at the end of the day when we draft these guys. So isn't it a bigger crapshoot now, if that's even possible?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's always a risk, but it's hard to evaluate a kid if you can't call their coach and actually get a history.
I got to call 4 coaches. Got to call 4 coaches.
That's the thing. Nobody's calling 4 coaches. So, there was another Oklahoma offensive lineman taken last night, and everybody knows that I love Bill Beatonbaugh. I think he's a fucking genius.
Great dude, by the way.
Great man. Yeah. Great man. He'll be at 6-0 in a week to do his yearly sit down. And who you got? Right now, Josh Bates, their starting center, is Dungeon Family, one of those high school kids that he brought in and developed and didn't hit the transfer portal and really understood, because Beatonbaugh sat him down and said, look, your dad's an ex-player. He got drafted by the Cowboys. I played with Justin in college. He's a great friend of mine. You're going to be a pro if you just develop and learn and figure it out. Take these 2 years to really, develop yourself mentally and physically. And then when time comes, you're a sophomore starting at center, and you got 3 years to play in the SEC. And we all know that's going to work. If you play meaningful snaps in the SEC, Big 10, Big 12 for 2 or 3 years, you're getting drafted. Now, when you move consistently and you don't have that stability, the evaluators in the NFL, they don't look at it like they should. They should probably look at it like 1-year contracts. But then again, when you look at it like a 1-year contract for a coach and a player says the same thing, that they don't really want you. You're just here. So if all these guys in college are on 1-year contracts, then they don't really want you. You're just here. You're filling a hole for a year before they can do it again. So look, I got into it yesterday I told you guys that everyone from Colorado would get all sick of this stuff. I told you, man, they went after me on social media. I told you they were going to. I'll do it again. Bailey, you can cut this one. I'll make it a little longer. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I have an opinion. No, I'm not really going to do that. But it's when you look at it like a 1-year contract, that's not good for anyone. It's not good for the coaches. It's not good for the players because you have no consistency. You can't build on the last year. So as an evaluator, one of the things I heard last night from Coach Saban, and I was trying to rewind it, but my fat thumb hit the wrong button and I couldn't record it on my TV. But he was like, look, it's really getting hard to evaluate these kids because they are walking into the NFL with the unbelievable sense of entitlement like they've never seen before.
I've been saying it, Matt. It demand trades for a reason.
We've been talking about this a long time. Now, that is, instead of being thankful for being picked in the first round and like, holy shit, my life just changed and I just worked my balls off my whole life. I've been broke and I didn't have shit. And now I just fucking hit the lotto. These kids think that the $250,000 or the $1 million that they're getting is the lotto in college.
Well,
and it's not the same, bro. The bag.
Let me rewind you. Let me rewind you a little bit. I think it starts though when you're at USC, you transfer to UCLA, and then you transfer back to USC.
You saw that, huh?
It's unbelievable. I would mud stomp that fuck. So here,
I would just say no. I would just say no. Like I don't want you to come back.
The bigger picture of this is there is no care in the world. There is no loyalty in the world. There is nothing in the world. I had a talk with Steve McNair, brother, the other day, and a good friend of mine. He's a head coach out at Alcorn, and he's like, JB, we all lived in dorms. He's like, you should ask Matt what you think because you're around Colorado, you're around these schools. We had dorms. We have college players that we were in dorm rooms with or dorm parties with on our roster that we are friends with to this day.
For a year.
Now I just signed you two. Hey, Smitty, here's your apartment on Manhattan Beach, right on the water. Go have fun. Hey, Matt, I got you a condo in Midtown, and then there's
I can't be on the beach.
Yeah. There's three, and then guess what? All you other guys that make $350 NIL deals, you guys are in the dorms. There is no continuity, Matt. No one cares about any sort of loyalty. I want to bleed, sweat, and cry with you. The dorm room shit was what made us.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, you're living all off campus. You got these big houses as a 17, 18, 20-year-old. Come on, man. You don't think they're going to care about the NFL if you've already trained their bodies and minds to not care about a big-time university where we all would be like, fuck. Colorado must have been the biggest thing you've ever done, Matt, out of high school. Oh, holy fuck, man. Ohio State offers a kid now, Matt, and they're like, we'll think about it. Like, what? Like, it's crazy, man. We're in a crazy time.
Well, look, they're the kids that go to college, because it's been turned into so much of a cutthroat mercenary business, they don't get to experience what it really should be.
Fuck no.
Which is like rolling with your boys for 4 or 5 years and earning the opportunity to go play and realizing your dream and actually having some kind of like love and consistency with your alma mater when you leave. I'm not saying agree with them about everything all the time like all of you people expect me to do, but I'm talking about just, being able to actually go there and be respected put your flag in the ground. I know Smitty can do it at Ball State. I can do it in Boulder. So, you know, that's an important thing. So it's when they leave and they figure out, like, look, a couple of these kids, let's use the guys in Boulder. Let's use Shador, Shiloh, Travis, and Jimmy Horn. One of the four probably isn't going to hit. Let's just be real. And I'm not talking shit. God forbid somebody picks that up and like clips it and, you know, it runs with it. But I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying this is the way, this battle of attrition, right? So when they come back to Boulder to watch a game and they were only there for like a year, now all those guys will be there for longer times, but it's hypothetical.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't have the same kind of community, the same kind of opportunity. They won't know the same amount of people, so they can't go help themselves find opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole fucking point of going to college and staying somewhere, is so you can go back and use the foundation you built in college to help yourself. That's why people are in frats and shit. Like, it's all a big back rub, like Coach just said. So
it's funny.
Look, man, it's definitely something the coaches need to worry about. But look, it all comes down to this: can you play? Can you help us win? All that other shit now, it's like we're just going to brush it under the rug. If you're a bad character, if you got a DUI, back in the day, it used to mean something. Today, it don't mean shit. We'll just deal with it. You know, people screw up, and we'll move on. And might be a huge red flag at the next level. Rashid Rice.
Let me, Jalen Carter. Let me ask you something, Matt. I had a conversation with one of Deion's best friends. Actually, played at Florida State with Blade, great player, played in the league, won 2 Super Bowls. I was on a show with him the other day, and he said, "Hey man, I got your last chance." He was laughing because he knows Shiloh and Shador since they were little kids, and he was like, "I got to be honest, and I'm letting Deion know this. You're fucking spot on." He goes, "Shiloh is one to talk. Shiloh is the epitome of JUCO. This is his 3rd school, is it not?" And this guy called him out. He's like, "You went to South Carolina, homie. You went to Jackson State. Don't talk about last chance you, and you don't want no last chance you. You are last chance you." Not to him, not just picking on him. This is what college football has become. It's junior college football, and we've already harped on it, but it's more and more glaring, Matt, to me, that we're looking at this we're looking at it the wrong way. If you and I, Matt, we're gonna take a job tomorrow, we would have to approach it in a completely different manner than we would 10 years ago. We already know that. But, like, we could kill it because I think we have this different insight and understanding that, listen, this is a 2-year institution now. It's not a 4-year institution. And the turnover is like we've never seen. 3,600 in the portal right now. So let
me ask this question, because we went from the draft to the transfer portal, but that's fine.
Well, I'm just saying, I want to go back to the draft, but the portal, I think, is affecting the draft, no?
I mean, fucking A, it is. What's happening in Nebraska where they haven't had anybody leave? How in the transfer portal era, how did they do that?
So I have a take.
There's I want to call Rule and get him on my show just to ask him that question.
There's a couple takes. I texted him. Here's a couple takes, and I know we've seen his political ploy that he said, "Oh, we got the best academic, the best." Come on, stop.
No, it's not the best. It's the only thing in a 10,000-mile radius that's not incest, porn, or flat Earth.
Yeah. Also, you got. Here's what they do have. They have. I do believe though. I've been
that M stands for knowledge.
I've been up there several times. Scott was the head coach, and my buddy Ryan Held. He let my team practice there several times as we go to Iowa to play. And the fan base there, I don't believe there's anyone else like it. We can argue all they want, but they sell out every game. They have forever.
It is the most insane.
You know that place.
Other than like Texas A&M was pretty crazy, but Nebraska playing there 3 times was the most insane fucking shit ever. Like, and Folsom's crazy, but Lincoln is just they don't have. First of all, they have nothing else to do. It's their only sports team in the entire state. I mean, think about that. Like, go to Denver and take all the Bronco love, Nugget love, Avalanche love, Colorado Buffs, CSU, Air Force. Take all that, throw it into one fucking bag, and that's
Rockies.
It kind of reminds me of like how Iowa. I mean, I played at Iowa was similar. It's like their fans are fucking nuts. Like everybody's nothing else to do. Like
that's the thing.
And look, good for them because it's a special place. I hate them, but I respect them maybe more than anybody. They, there's reason that they're so revered. I think it's better when they're good. I know Colorado fans hate that shit, but I think it's better when they're good. No one wants to beat them when they suck. So I think it's better for college football when Nebraska's good. A lot of people don't like them. I actually saw a video yesterday of Coach Sapp up in Boulder talking to the team, and the first thing they were showing Coach Sapp's highlights. And like he was talking about, will for the game and what you need to do. And he was like, yeah, and look, this is me playing Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. Fuck these guys. I can't wait to go to Lincoln week 2, yada, yada. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Now we're strumming up some of this rivalry. That's what I'm talking about. And they put it on social media too. So I know the boys in Lincoln just because I know them, Will Compton. I know him and I talk, and they hate us. And that's exactly where we want to be in Boulder, because for years we want you to hate us. That's the fact that you say I hate you validates everything we've done to earn that hate. So,
but Matt, I got to be honest though, I'm not buying any of this anymore because these players don't hate each other no more like we did, and they don't hate the university. They don't hate the universities either because they don't know about them. They're mercenaries. They don't care about any of these universities. And
I don't know, man. Last year in Boulder, the guys that I know that were on that team that was really contentious and really. It felt like Colorado, Nebraska to me. So, yes, I agree that there's still, some turnover, and Dylan Edwards might be going to Nebraska and yada. Go to Nebraska, dog. That'll just stir the rivalry up even more. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're going to have to teach it. Hopefully you do, but at the same time,
Dylan Edwards give a fucking pistol squirt less about Nebraska Colorado rivalry. He don't know. He don't fucking have a clue.
Well, he knows. He played in it last year. He knows. He was there.
I know, but I'm just saying he played in this. I think it's the alum and the old school cats like us that really know about the rivalry.
Well, it's totally different, bro. Like college football used to be built on rivalries, and now it's like all the rivalries, except for the ones that they deem necessary to keep. Bedlam's gone. Like they're not playing Oklahoma State. They're not playing Pittsburgh, West Virginia. They don't play Colorado, Nebraska consistently. They don't play Nebraska, Oklahoma consistently. They don't play, they don't play Colorado State consistently. I know last year was drummed up because of Coach Prime, but that's the way that game is all the time. We literally hate each other. So the hatred on the football field. Civil War is gone. Great, Eric Rivera, in your comments. That's a great call. Although they're still going to play, it doesn't mean the same because they're not playing for a conference title or an opportunity. So much of these games, like, it's almost like we let the soccer mom come in and say, hate's a bad word, and we can't use that in college football. And like that's what drives football, in my opinion. I hate those motherfuckers. I respect them. But I hate them, and I can't wait to smash their face. Now it's like I hate the logo, but I know like 5 guys on their team I played with, and they're my boys. And if we win, we win, and if we lose, we lose. The fucking fans will be more upset than us, and they're right.
Yeah. Let's dive into the draft. Bailey, can you pull up the draft from the first round? The first round is in. We know who went. Who's your winners and who's your losers? Your biggest winners, biggest losers.
Look, I liked what the Jets did getting that tackle from Penn State. He's a hell of a player.
Is that for the future? Let me talk about that with you real quick because Shaun King brought up a point. Aren't you trying to win right now with?
And he'll play. He'll play, bro. He'll either
over the
play
2
guard.
tackles they signed in the offseason?
Yeah, well.
We got Morgan Moses, and then they got
all these guys will play guard or tackle. He's not just going to sit there. I guarantee you he's not.
Not going wood, but Tyron gets hurt all the time. Not going wood, but you kind of have to be prepared.
Tyron's been hurt. Moses is old.
This is a team asset building pick here.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is keeping last year all through training camp. All we heard was the offensive line's inconsistent. The first fucking game of the year, he gets hurt. This is them picking the best offensive lineman available and going to get Tyron and Morgan Moses and saying, okay, we're going to use these guys with who we got and see what we got. And we'll see if it works. But he's going to play. I like that pick. I also loved – did anybody see his mama like straight blocking out his girlfriend?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
She went straight like Rodman style.
It's my son. That's my baby.
That's my baby, bitch.
Racist.
You ain't getting any of that fucking money. And so I thought that was hilarious. Look, the McCarthy pick at 10 makes sense. We knew that Minnesota wanted him. They got their guy. The Bo Nix thing at 12.
Talk to us.
Look, man, they don't have a quarterback, so I can't sit here and act like it's a bad pick. But I have a lot of respect for a lot of the guys that I talk to about this. And I'm not going to use his name, but the minute he was picked, all I got in a text was, noodle arm quarterback coming to Denver, the best sports city in America right now. And I'm like, oh boy. So look, Coach Payton said that he got in his car afterwards and it was the best pro day he's ever seen. Yeah, shit, man. I can't sit here and act like he's not an authority that I respect. He's Sean Payton, for God's sakes.
Same with me. I'm gonna go with it. I mean,
if he thinks he's Drew Brees, then I got to roll with this. They are the same age. That's pretty crazy. That Wilson and Nix they're pretty much the same guy too. They look exactly the same. So I really hope this works out. Bo Nix is a big, strong leader that played great in college, 61 starts and shit. He needs to play immediately. There's other quarterbacks that have had weaker arms, but they're from an intelligence standpoint, they're through the roof. I'm not saying this kid is stupid. He's a rookie. So he's going to be seeing everything for the first time. Look, man, he's got to play. I don't know how you sit Nix and Penix and all these older cats. You can't do it. So Nix is going to walk in, and he should be the starter day one when you've got Stidham, Danucci, and the fucking Mile High Milf Hunter on your team. So,
Hey, Smith, hey,
Bo guards your mama when you bring her to Bolton.
That's what I'm going to say. Hey, real quick message, though. If you're in Denver, Colorado this season.
Yeah, we got them made, Matt. We got them made. We're going to sell them.
All the MILFs in Colorado, if you're a son and you have a older mother, you know what I'm saying, who still got some youth to her.
Zach Wilson the fucker? What?
No. I'm saying keep her away is what I'm saying. Like, don't. Actually, watch the game on TV. Don't bring them near the fucking locker room.
Funny segue.
Got two of them now.
Funny segue though, because the poll question to Matt is, how much fucking pussy is the Mile High Milf Hunter gonna get in Denver? That is the question. Over or under 50 MILFs?
Slightly under. I'm going at 46.
I'm gonna go under too. Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
We'll never know.
Now, hold on. Is it the Mile High MILF Hunters now? But no, I'm saying, is it plural? Like, I mean, this guy Bo Nix, blonde hair, clean.
He got a girl. He got a bad girl, I think. I don't mean nothing, but I'm just saying.
I'm going to saw in this game. All
right, man. Before you get out of here, keep going. Who else you like?
I love the Bowers pick at 13. I think he's a stud.
I think that's the best pick. I got that as the number one pick overall.
I love the big offensive lineman in New Orleans. It's like Sean Payton's still there. I honestly wanted the Broncos to trade back and go O-line, D-line, and get ready for next year. Because, look, I don't think Bo Nix is going to change the record. So they're going to be picking in the top 10, 8, 6 picks next year too. So I guess you're building around Bo Nix next year or replacing him. After that, hey, man, you never know. After that, it's like the good teams or the teams that we think are playoff contenders, they went out and got the guy that fits the need that they need. So all these other picks, I'm not saying that they're going to be good. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. They're walking into a situation where they don't have to be the guy necessarily immediately, the majority of them. So they'll be able to learn a little bit and see what they see. Even Brock Bowers is walking into a situation where they drafted Myers in the second round. So
let's move up to 18. The Bengals. They got a good D tackle there in Amarius Mims or whatever. Let me ask you: is that a telltale sign that Hendrickson is on the way out?
No, Mims is offensive lineman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mims is the big tackle from Georgia.
Amarius Mims.
Oh, the big O tackle. I got you.
Yeah, he's a great player. But Hendrickson is on the way
tackle.
out. They didn't want to give him the long-term deal.
I didn't even know. I can't see the fucking screen. I didn't
the
even
Falcons need to go trade for Hendrickson because he wants out of Cincinnati. And look, the Buffalo Bills did it again. Buffalo traded their pick to Kansas City again. Buffalo traded their pick to Kansas City for Mahomes.
That's a big time, and that's a big time pick too, man. I'm gonna be real. Andy Reid with Xavier Worthy 4.21 speed.
And they got Worthy. Like
4.21, bro.
Buffalo, you can't keep trading your pick to Kansas City, dummy. What are you doing?
Andy Reid's gonna take that 4.21 and make him a offensive rookie of the year, bro. Watch. God.
And they need receivers, and they didn't draft Worthy. They traded it to Kansas City, and they didn't get a first-round pick. They deserve everything that's going to happen to them this year.
Let's talk about this one because are they the real poll question is, are they ruining Josh Allen's career?
They're not ruining it.
He has no receivers, bro.
He's going to have a great year stat-wise because he's going to have to do everything by himself.
Everything.
Who's the receiver they got? The Sharik kid or what's his name? Shahir or Sharik or
the kid from Boise?
Pretty good receiver. He's
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking about.
Look,
they got Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir.
Curtis Samuel's a good player.
Matt Hollins.
Shakir.
Dalton Kincaid's a good, and Dawson Knox are two good tight ends. I will give them that.
Great tight end play. They got a good back. Look, they're not ruining his career. They're not maximizing his career. They're sitting back and going, okay, we got Josh Allen and we're going to be competitive and that's good enough for us. Where the Chiefs are like, let's take the fucking Buffalo's pick and pick the fastest guy in the draft and just run him down the middle of the field. And we saw this because they went and tried this experiment with Valdez-Scantling, who's lightning fast but just couldn't catch the clap. That guy couldn't get the drip at a Tijuana fucking pussy house, bro. Let's be real.
Let's talk about something real quick.
Couldn't catch the COVID if a motherfucker coughed and sneezed in their face.
He couldn't hit fucking sand if he fell off a camel, homie.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, JB.
It's like fucking hitting a sick whore off of a piss pot.
Are the Bills going to make a fucking splash and go after Ayuk, Debo? I'm hearing Debo Samuel's now on the block. I hear
they better do something.
T. Higgins, maybe.
I'm telling you though, like if you're the Niners,
you think they're collecting picks though for Ayuk?
Well, they got to do something. So look, if they're collecting picks to go after one of these cats, cool. But if you're San Francisco, you're still in this window. Who did San Francisco pick? They picked.
They got Ricky Pearsall, who was Brandon Ayuk's former teammate at Arizona State, who traveled to Florida.
He is a wide receiver. Okay, yes, so there you go. San Francisco picked a receiver. Buffalo traded out of the first round. I don't know what time the second round starts. What does it start, like 4 or something?
Probably early.
5. It starts this afternoon because it's just second, third, fourth round. I think it starts this afternoon. I got Drake Nugent on my show today, who hopefully gets drafted today or tomorrow. The Michigan Center at 1:30. We had to move some things around yesterday to accommodate, but yeah, I think that today you could almost bank on the fact that Buffalo will trade for Samuel or Ayuk and a king's ransom back to San Francisco, and San Francisco will have a bunch of picks in the second, third round to go use. So who would you want out of those two in Buffalo? Like, it's not just who you want, it's the fit.
Okay,
because they are different players.
Can we have a debate real quick before you leave?
So you can do whatever you want. It's your show, dog.
I love Chase Sr. He's our boy. We all love Chase. I was talking to him. Chase made a comment. I had to blast him. I know he covers the Niners and all that.
Wait, did his feelings get hurt and you had to do an apology?
No, never.
No shit.
Shit. He's saying that he thinks Ayuk's better than fucking Amon St. Brown. I almost spit out my fucking coffee.
I would take Ayuk over Amon St. Brown.
Oh,
I would.
I mean, he's not that crazy. I
Ayuk
mean, like,
is bigger, faster, stronger, and more athletic. St. Brown is a great player in his system with Goff. No one's taking anything away from him. He's first team All-Pro, but I would take Ayuk over Amon-Ra.
And being real, we just haven't even. I don't think we've seen the best of Ayuk because of the quarterback situation that he's played under. And no offense, I'm not trying to like. Purdy's like solid, but he hasn't had like no fucking just guy who just slinging that thing. You know what I mean? Pause.
Look, I've said this 1,000 times on this show and on my show for years. San Francisco will never win until they go get a quarterback that is big time. And Purdy is game time, but he ain't big time. Garoppolo's game time, he ain't big time. So when they run up against better quarterbacks in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, they lose. That's a fact.
Let me break down why I think it's not even close, and this is why. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'll eat crow. What I've said, but I actually want to see Ayuk, I guess, out of this system. To Matt's point, because this is a system that is. Let's be honest. They haven't had a real receiver outside. You got the Jennings cat, but really, is he he's not a one by any means. But you haven't had the traditional receiver, Matt, that you and I know about that we can isolate, throw UFO routes to, fade balls to. You have to put Kittle out there, or you have to put Debo and Ayuk. Let's be honest. They are inside slot guys that are multifaceted, that are utility guys. They're not really a guy that you put outside on the X numbers and you say, route this motherfucker up. Even though I agree, Ayuk has routes and all that, but he's more of an inside guy. St. Brown is a well-rounded, longer receiver that you can put anywhere, and you know already what he has done in a system that throws the football. I want to see Ayuk, I guess, before I make judgment, in a system that isn't Shanahan-based, where we run a lot of inside stuff with the slots, a lot of reverses, throwback. I mean, they do everything to keep those guys in the game, which he has to do. They don't have a real number one outside guy. They got slot guys who are more compact body types, who are inside wiggle guys. I just think it's an apple and orange thing, because the positions are so different and the system's so different. So I'll eat crow, and I just want to see him. If he does get traded, I would love to see him with Josh Allen and see if that's a real guy, a number one.
So you take Ayuk over Samuel?
Yeah. I think Samuel is a true utility guy, because you know what I mean. He can play everything out there. He's a freak. I love him, but he's not a big time. He's not a guy you throw outside. And if you got to get that third down comeback route, he's not the guy you throw out there. You don't throw Ayuk out there either. I don't believe you throw St. Brown out there though. So see, that's the thing. I just want to see.
Well, okay. So flip this. Do you think Amon-Ra St. Brown would be productive in San Francisco's scheme?
Well, at least you'd have a one receiver, but would he be what he is in Detroit? No.
But he's 5'11". Like you're talking about. Yeah. San Francisco's got squatty slot receivers, so that's what St. Brown is.
Yeah, but St. Brown is like, he reminds me of body type wise. I've been growing up around the kid since he was a little kid. His dad trained him to be like because they all worked out together. Remember the Mortons? Johnny
Morton.
Johnny Morton, the other kid is Chad. Remember Chad Morton?
Chiefs, yep.
Went into boxing and got his ass knocked the fuck out in 6 seconds. Yeah, him. I played the Chiefs with. Ripped as fuck. They don't even lift weights. Peanut butter jelly, banana, and fucking honey, and push-ups, sit-ups, all fucking calisthenics, and they were just the most. Johnny Morton looks like a made-up human. In a good way. Like, this motherfucker has lines I've never seen.
Hey, he looks like DJ Metcalf.
Yeah. So that's how he was trained. He's lean, thin, the Smith thin waist. He's lean, solid rock. Those other cats are fucking yoked, thick bodies that are more susceptible to reverses and run the football and take a hit. You ain't going to do all that with St. Brown. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a wide out guy that you really want. Even though he's 6 foot, he's still a wide out. I look at St. Brown as a wide out. Yeah. I just look at him as well. No, David Boston was fucking huge, Pettiford. What the fuck are you talking about? If you see David Boston was one of the Boston's arms are this fucking big.
David Boston was a fucking monster.
Oh, dude, you're talking about a
David Boston was so goddamn big, dude.
He cut the ball like this. He cut the ball like this.
David Boston looked like Lawrence Taylor if Lawrence Taylor did something other than smoke crack.
He caught
You
the ball.
smoke crack, don't you?
Don't smoke crack.
Strong as hell.
Hey, Matt.
And yeah, he was definitely on that juice, no doubt.
Appreciate you coming in here.
Yeah, man.
Today, what do you expect? Second round, a lot of linemen.
Yeah, the tons of look. This is where you find your starting offensive and defensive linemen, bro. Second, third, fourth round. That's where the meat of the draft is. O-line, D-line. There's going to be I think there'll be some big time moves, with trades to go get guys that they want that coaches have identified. Roger Rosengard, Drake Nugent, Casey Roddick, my guys out there. I'm hoping that they go today. That would be dope. Again today at 1 o'clock, 1:30-ish, over at the lab at 60 Football Academy. We've got Drake Nugent in house. We'll have a nice little sit down with him, talk about everything that's going on. He's actually meeting with the governor this morning. So don't tell me football can't take you places, or the senator or some shit. But yeah, man, it's the draft is always fun, and it's real fun when it's over. But I want to take this moment real quick to just say that I know you two are hurt because you're down 3.
So anyway.
That's some cold shit.
You might win the war, but we're going to win the battles, motherfucker.
That's okay. You can win the little battle.
How do you fucking not show up, man? I'm so fucking tired, man. I'm so fucking tired of this guy being called the GOAT. I'm tired of this.
Thank you.
I'm going to rant real quick because Nat's
rant, please. You need to.
Bottom line is, this guy LeBron, throughout history, if you look at his fucking life, he only balls in late games when they're up. He never has to put his foot on someone's neck and choke them out. He's dependent on Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, fucking Kyrie Irving. Everybody's always been the guy to hit the big shot. He's never put the fucking stomp out on anybody while they're up. They've been up 15, 3 games out of this series. They've been up 15 points and lost every fucking one.
In all 3 games, they were up in the first game, 20 in the second game. They were up by 15 last night, dog.
You're not the GOAT. At home, in front of your fucking crowd, fuck that dude. He's a little flop. Fuck LeBron. I want him out of LA so goddamn bad. I never liked him in LA. I've never been a LeBron. Give me Lakers guys back.
Did you see in game 2 when the Nuggets are making their comeback? I know you saw this because I sent it to you and said your coach. Did you see Ham trying to put together a play? He couldn't even write on the board, dog. Did you see this, Smitty?
Yeah,
I saw the clip. I thought that was but I think that was an older clip because I don't know. I know what you're saying. I saw it on Twitter. I thought it was an older clip though.
That's what it was.
It's from the game. What is that?
I don't know. It's a bag of shit. It's candy, but it's a bag of shit. That's
cool.
That's what he did. He just fucking swings shit around. Because that motherfucker was in there drawing up fucking hey, listen, here it is, man. I'm gonna draw it up for you. Here it is.
Playing Hangman or some
shit.
You
guys all listen.
No tea.
Hey, LeBron, I know you're not gonna listen because if you watch the video, LeBron's not even looking.
Back.
He's not even looking. So here it is. Hey, Matt, you're the bottle cap. You just go right here to the fucking that free throw line extension.
Well, maybe it was an older clip. They're saying Westbrook was on the bench.
Yeah, that's what Westbrook was there. It was definitely an older clip. That's all I'm saying.
It don't matter though.
But I'm saying people are using old clip to try to show that.
I allow me to retort. I thought it was the other night. My bad.
Oh no, I knew it wasn't the other night, but that's
you did, JB. You didn't know that, JB.
I did not know
that. JB.
No, I didn't know it was that. I knew it was old. But what I'm saying is that's your coach. I knew. But I'm saying that's your coach. The coach doesn't change.
Man, he knows everything, man.
Smitty, he's still a coach. He's still a fucking coach.
So look, the Lakers are an amazing organization. I hate them, but amazing. Why is LeBron bigger than this team, but Magic wasn't, James Worthy wasn't, Shaq wasn't, Kobe wasn't even bigger than the team? Like, why? Why can LeBron hold the Los Angeles Lakers hostage to get this kid on the team? Why? Why is this okay?
If the Lakers
Smitty, why is this okay?
If the Lakers do this, it'll be the biggest fucking travesty. I'm just telling you right now, if you don't get rid of LeBron and AD, in my opinion, both.
Look, this video is old and somebody played us, and my dumbass ran with it. But whatever. Good call,
whatever.
Smitty. I didn't see Westbrook.
Still the same coach. But here's my point.
He was on the left.
Yeah, but the coach is still right in the fucking middle. The same guy
I
in
get
the
it,
middle
but it's
last
not-
night. Drawing up
Still.
fucking bottle caps and fucking sticks last night, too. So let me ask you something.
Well, what are
you
you going
don't
to
get rid
fire?
of
You
him,
can't fire
Smitty.
Darnell and like expect to get better. It's LeBron.
No, I don't. I'm tired of blaming the
The
coach.
Nuggets
all
was
the
better
time.
than the Lakers, bro. I don't give a
Yes.
fuck if we had Phil Jackson out there. We losing that. We losing. Like, it's what it is.
Smitty,
Like,
Smitty, what do you have to say though when you're up 15 a game and you got the GOAT on your team? What does that tell you? I got to ask you, dog. You've had 3 opportunities. You're up in all 3. At least you should have had 1, if not 2.
They should have won last night, bro. Denver was slow and lethargic last night. They were not into
the
it.
problem is Aaron Gordon was fucking balling.
It's because Aaron Gordon is a man of the people.
I'm saying the problem is, you know what it is? The Nuggets are Nuggets are just great. And the reason I said it is I was like, we won last year, but like Jokic might have an off night, but Jamal Murray's gonna ball out. Jamal might have an off night, but Jokic's gonna ball out. Jokic and Murray might both be fucking dead and having a bad game. And out of nowhere, fucking Aaron Gordon drops 27 and 17. And then Michael Porter dropped. It's just so many different angles and options in the ball.
Yeah, but
it's like,
look, the Lakers
like
have
Spurs.
Davis and LeBron James and all these dudes. Like my thing with LeBron. My thing with LeBron is that he gets this like this generation has anointed him, and in my opinion, he's more of like an indicator of what you do if you want to lose a lot, not win. Like other than the 2016 year where he took over in Cleveland, that was like the epitome of LeBron. That was the best. Okay, that whole series was incredible. They came back from 3-1. It was awesome, but the other titles are super team force fed, and it seems to me like the bubble title is a asterisk in my opinion, and I don't know, man. I think that. Do you think LeBron will just retire a Laker and just go off into the sunset as saying it's the 7 or the 8 seed every year? Like this, it's not what the Lakers do, bro. I don't understand why it's acceptable.
Now I feel you. It's not what we do. What the Lakers have done. Listen, LeBron. I don't think LeBron's the GOAT. We're clear on this show. I'm a Kobe guy. I think Jordan's the GOAT. I think Kobe's number 2. I got LeBron number 3. Though I do have LeBron number 3.
Jordan, Kobe. Well, mine is Jordan, Kobe, Larry Bird, Magic, LeBron.
Gotcha. And I'm cool with that.
That doesn't include big guys.
Right. I guess for me though, I just should we expect
Molly Quirk?
He'll be okay.
I don't know what he's got going on.
He's just like
Aaron Gordon is balling. This motherfucker made an excuse for Aaron Gordon balling over the
No, he balled. He
according to the GOAT is playing, Smitty. You're making excuses for Aaron fucking Gordon, a dunker. You got the GOAT on the Lakers, homie. The all-time leading scorer. The all-time leading scorer. The all-time leading scorer. He's the GOAT all-time, Smitty. He's the GOAT, Smitty. And we're gonna say Aaron Gordon. That's the name we use.
Let him go, man. Let him go. Just let him go for a minute. Let him go for a minute.
Holy shit!
He didn't say that. He just said Aaron balled out last night, which he did. Cheers.
This is what I deal with every single show.
Yeah,
I'll say something real quick, and JB somehow takes one little line and then turns into a whole fucking thing. I didn't say Aaron
Gordon was incredible last night. He went 27 and 17, and his energy was through the roof. And I think he's the reason why the Nuggets won last night.
That's all we said, Matt. That's all we said, Matt. And my point of bringing it up is the depth that the Nuggets have versus the depth of the Lakers. Before last night, the Lakers had a total of 17 bench points. All came from one fucking player in the entirety of the series. So that's telling you depth. The reason why the Lakers are up at every single game to start is because, yes, AD and LeBron are amazing. And early in the games when they're fresh, they can go all out first half and get a lead. But the problem is they can no longer sustain it. AD's still young. I don't know what his excuse is, but he doesn't play well late in games at all. LeBron at this point, and I'm not even a LeBron guy, but I got to just be real. I can't expect 2016, 2015 LeBron to show up in 2024. He's not that guy.
Get rid of him.
He's not the best player in the world no more. Is he still a good player? For sure. He's not the best player in the world no more. He's not even in that conversation.
How many times have you heard elite players say, I can't do it at the level I used to, and I can't live with myself. I got to walk away. If this is just because he wants to play with his kid, that he gets to hold an entire fucking franchise. Can you go hold like the fucking the I don't know, the worst team in the league, whoever, hold them fucking hostage instead of the Lakers?
But I guess what I'm saying, Matt, to combat that, he's not this guy he was, but he's still really fucking good. Again, this year he averaged 27, 7, and 7 in year 21. So what? He can't be the number one guy anymore. That's the thing. We need to figure out a way to get AD out of there, bring in, I don't know who the answer is, but like LeBron, he's no longer going to win a championship as the number one guy, but he's a hell of a number two. So that's what I'm saying.
My point's being missed here. I don't know why my point went over you.
Well, you was in the back. You was drinking. We didn't hear your point.
Back to your point,
I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I drank while you guys were talking, and I don't want to interrupt you. But it got over your head. The whole Aaron Gordon thing went over your head. The point that he had 27. The point that he had 27 and 17, Matt, is my fucking point.
Yeah.
Stop fucking Aaron Gordon from beating you, Lakers. That's my whole point.
They went into the game like, okay, let's slow down Jokic, let's slow down Jamal Murray, as you should, right? Okay, boom. But then the third guy started hooping, and then fucking Caldwell. That's what they're just better than us, y'all. There's no answer. Is what I'm trying to say. There's too many fucking weapons.
They're in the equal opportunity basketball business. They're not in the God, LeBron, or AD save us business.
The Nuggets are the modern day San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah. Period. Thank you. Period. Jokic is Timmy. Like, this is what it is. They're gonna repeat too. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in Boston. Miami went out the other night as an 8. Look, when Boston got Miami, everybody in Boston was like, fuck. We should beat them, but fuck. These guys
got dogs, bro. They got dogs. I love Miami.
And they don't even have Jimmy Buckets on the fucking floor. So look, man, I understand that the Laker fans are super fucking emotional about this, and you should be. I will say this.
What the hell going on, JB?
It's gonna. I hope it's not a sweep, because I want the Nugs to beat them in 5 at home, so I can go to the game. What are you doing? Careful, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack.
I'm getting my calisthenics in, man, because this is bullshit.
You still call them calisthenics?
Hey, Matt said,
old motherfucker.
Hey, hold on. JB did 3 jumping jacks. Hey, Matt said, be careful. You're going to have a fucking heart attack.
Heart attack, dog.
Hold on.
Ass motherfucker.
Time out.
He going to have a heart attack on 5 points.
I'll tell you this. Hey, I'll tell you this. If you take the role players from Denver, you take Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon and KCP, and you put them around AD and LeBron, and you take the banker and Rudy and all these other guys that are playing for the Lakers and put them with Jokic and Murray, and the Nuggets still run you. Because Jokic and Murray are they are. If you give LeBron, Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon and KCP, and we take your 3, the Nuggets still run you because Jokic and Murray are the keys.
Nah, I disagree with you on that one, player.
Disagree with you on that one, player. I don't know. Hey, Bailey, can you show real quick? I know we're running long. We got to take commercial after this. Can you find the D-Lo take that he's rolling backwoods up on the bench? Can we show that real quick? Because I got to ask you, and I have a point on this, and I don't want to take too long. We got to take commercial. We got a bunch of guests.
LeBron did have KCP. KCP won with him in the bubble.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If we can find the D-Lo take, we're going to find the D-Lo take. Here's my point why we show it. D-Lo sitting disengaged over to the side. And he's over there not even engaged in the conversation of what's going on. And that is a bad look for an organization that has this many titles, to Matt's take.
What is he doing?
All-time organization. He's on his phone. So this is a bad look. I like D-Lo. We talk quite often.
This is worse than fucking Ham playing fucking hangman on his whiteboard.
I think D-Lo was fed up. He had 0 points yesterday.
he just balled in Denver after all the naysayers. He shot, lights out and 8 threes, and then he has a bad game home, and
something obviously happened. He's not doing it for no reason. Something happened.
But what I'm saying is, it's a bad look for an organization.
Bro. They're down 3-0.
Well, that's JB's guy. I ain't gonna call him a bitch. That's JB's homie. Like they talk all the time.
He's a crybaby female dog. I apologize.
That's JB like Beth. That's his homie, man.
Oh my God. Okay, well then he's crying. I apologize.
Hey Bailey, did you send Shaun King the new link? Hey, we gotta take a break, commercial break, real quick. Matt, we appreciate you staying on all hour long. Shout out to you. All week long.
Yep.
And we'll be back in.
Be back in 5, Tank. Be back in 5.
Hey, Tank, say what's up to Matt, Tank. Real
what
quick.
Up, T?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good, man. You be whooping JB ass, man. I appreciate you.
I try. You do the same thing. I love watching and listening to it. So keep doing it.
Pick on the white guy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
is Matt not white? What the fuck?
Yes. Yes. Finally.
Matt wouldn't be on the white team on the race draft.
What team would he be on?
I did 20. Which one?
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we gotta take a commercial break. Tank, we'll be back in fucking 3 minutes.
Bye.
Sound the like. You get inside. Corral. Hey, he said the court's unbelievable, huh?
Of course, unbelievable. I mean, it's out of the net right now.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Never come.
He can't invite you to everything, JB. Golly.
No, I can't even go to the shit. He invites me all the time. I fucking can't go to it.
Why can't you go?
Two fucking dinosaurs at home.
Well, then you gotta come watch the dogs, Smitty, and I'll go.
Nah, go fucking send them dogs somewhere else.
Or you just come. He'll fucking say his ass will stay home.
Yeah, that's how we gonna start doing things, right? Yeah, there we go, Pat. Yeah, I like that.
Hey, you just started second hole?
Yeah, goddamn, it's gonna take a month to play.
Well, who's the pro, or who's the amateur guy? Is there any celebrities and shit?
No, CC's bad dude. He's playing ahead of me, and Wayne's playing with Dustin. I don't know who the hell
Gretzky?
Yeah, I don't know who else they got out here. I didn't see. The tee time's all day, so I don't have any idea.
Is Anthony Kim out there?
Oh yeah. That's
he coming along better?
Yeah, he's doing good. I talked to him for a while. He, goddamn, the guy's been out of the game for 12 years. He shows up with this goddamn rental set or something. I'm like, bro, you gotta, the time, it ain't the same game and equipment than when you left. So he's starting to work. I told him the first 2 weeks, I said, bro, you gotta get your feet wet. I said, you've been out this thing forever. So I've been talking to him, giving him some advice and all that kind of shit. Just told him, hey man, people behind you, and just take it slow and get your feet wet again and get going. And he's coming. He's trying hard. He's doing good. So everyone's pulling for him.
Nah, that's sweet.
He's doing good.
Glad to hear that. I know I know he looked up to you. He's been looking up to you for a while.
I'm basically the only guy that knows him. Because when he left in 12. He left the Houston Open in 2012. I mean, shit, no one out here. I mean, there's kids that were 5 when he left. Didn't even know. I mean, he never seen. I told him, I said, bro, you never seen kids like what is now. I mean, you got hundreds of kids that are 19 to 24. They're just superstars. Back in the day, we saw the Cat and Phil and Furyk and Ernie and Retief and Couples and all these guys, but they were all right. All 38 to 40, right? So he never seen anybody like him. He was a superstar back in the day, but now these kids are so young. They hit it 40 yards by everybody. It's just a whole different player. And I said, look, and I just need to get wrapped up in that, but you're gonna have to get your game going because these kids are ready every day. Every day, they work their ass off. They play hard. They hit it a mile. They're just so competitive. They're not afraid of anything either. So, but he's getting it. It's good. He's getting it. It's good. I think he'll be fine. He's got a couple years to play and then kind of see what happens. But he'll get there.
Pat, do you feel like the overall play is a lot better now than it was like, I guess even 10 plus years ago?
Yeah. I mean, even the kids, like Speed and JT and, you got, Brooks is still young and Patrick Reed and, there's so many young, good players now. It's unbelievable. Even out here, we get this Caleb Surratt, Chikara and, Wolf. And I mean, kids just hit it a mile. We got so many young kids that are so good now. It's incredible. The game, but I don't know. It's just it's a whole different back in the day, the strategy of the game was to hit it and play and hit it on the green and try to make putts. Now these kids hit it a mile. They just hit it over all the shit. They hit as far as they can, hard as they can, and they just shorten the courses. And it's all speed. It's just different. I mean, technology has helped a little bit too, but the kids just are more athletic than they were back in the day. I mean, you're finding, back in the day, everyone was my size. They're 5'10", 5'8", not very big. And now you got all these kids that are 6'3", 6'4", monsters that don't really, realize that they can make a ton of money not playing football or baseball. And, it's just a whole different generation of player.
Yeah, JB. Incredible. I mean, our athletes are a lot better than your athletes, JB, is what he's saying.
Hey, Pat, now, again, he's talking golf, not fucking basketball and football. They're worse than ever. Hey, All right. We are back in the building. Let's bring in our main man, Tank Johnson. Clap it up for Big Tank. My bad, man.
What's going on, Tank?
My dog.
Hey, we're bringing in another legend. Another legend, my main man, Shaun King. Welcome in.
Ooh.
What's up, guys?
The brothers then took over the show. Let's get it.
Hey, Tank.
Am I good today?
Yeah,
you good. Oh, yeah, we hear you good. Hey, Tank, did you ever sack this motherfucker?
No,
I don't think I ever sacked him. No, I don't think so.
Hey, Tank, fear is a hell of a motivator.
Hey, man, it works.
Hey, JB, I tell you a crazy story. So I'm a rookie. I'm starting. I don't know if you remember a guy named Alonzo Spellman.
Hell yeah.
Big old dude. We talking like 1999 too. This before like having a beard was popular. He had one of them long beards, one of them big old country bumpkin jokers, ankles and wrists at the same level, arms so damn long. I take a little 3-step drop, throw a nice pass, Chris little slant to Quezzy. All I know, it got black. And this back when you can hit the quarterback. He got up, knee all on my chin strap. I mean, my chin strap was touching my right eyelid and the bottom of my chin. It ain't supposed to be like that. So I'm looking up. I'm trying to push him off. He pushed me down. He said, I'm going to kill you. And he looked serious. I still to this day don't know if he was going to do something. But all I can think about in that moment, I'm looking up at him, and I say, I'm somebody's child.
Hey, Tank, did you play with Alfonso Boone?
Yeah.
Who coached him? Anyone know?
So all these young quarterbacks just got drafted. I was the gladiator days. When Big
you coached Alfonso Boone?
Fucking right. You know where he went? First NFL player ever to be drafted straight out of JUCO.
Nice.
Now what?
I don't know where that came from, but okay.
Shit. I don't know. I'm just trying to get back at Tank for motherfucker said it don't matter who you coach and shit, where you send motherfuckers.
Ooh, look at this big. It's a big motherfucker right here.
He played at Mount Sac JUCO. Let me ask you this, guys, Tank and Shaun, for being on here. I appreciate you guys. The draft, winners and losers, Tank. Can you pull it up, Bailey? I don't know, so Tank can see it.
Oh, okay, with the 4 box. Okay.
Tank, your biggest winner. So let me retract. Biggest winner, biggest losers, from your perspective.
I say the biggest winners was the University of Washington, going pick number 8 and 9 with Michael Penix and Big Rome Odunze. But no, I just don't think there was very much drama. I mean, everybody who was kind of supposed to go went. I think there was a couple of surprises, but I just think it was a drama-less draft, and all the kids who showed up, got their opportunity, and we'll see where the chips fall. But the one thing that I can just I can tell is just like, man, the talent is just it doesn't look to be going up. The talent seems to be going, I don't know, if anything, lateral, not down, but like I just don't see the type of explosive ballers. Like the kid that transferred from Washington, I think he was drafted to, I forget what let me see. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Did he go to the Saints? No, the Colts. Latu. He was medically he was at Washington.
He was like DQ'd basically. He had that neck situation. Yeah.
Yeah, he had that neck situation, and he was up at University of Washington, transferred down to UCLA, got a different doctor to let him play. But like, I mean, he's good, but I just don't see him as like, JJ Watt or TJ Watt. I see he plays really high. I don't know. I'm just not really impressed with the overall talent.
Yeah. I'm the same way, though, man. I've been saying this for a while, and I want to ask you both, Shaun and Tank. This is the issue I have. The evaluation process has to be so hard, Shaun. I know you just were coaching. Like, for an NFL GM to find a guy that played at Akron, Oregon, Cal, and fucking four other schools, isn't that slowing down the process? Like, all right, I got to watch this guy play in the MAC competition-wise, then the Pac-12. And then I got to add, he's in the SEC. He didn't look great in the SEC. He looked mid in the Pac-12, and he dominated the MAC. Like, this has to be weighing in on the draft, dog.
Yeah, I'll say this to answer your first question. To me, the biggest loser was defensive players. I mean, the NFL made a seismic shift to offensive personnel. I mean, he was the first defensive player selected. That was pick 15. And there's nobody's.
Well, my bad. I picked no top 10 defensive guys.
Yeah, good call by you, 6-1. There's no NFL board out of the 32 that didn't have a defensive player in their top 14, as they were ranking just guys based on talent from 1 to however many they had on their list. I guarantee there's none that didn't have a guy in that top 14. So you saw, in my opinion, a lot of teams reaching. What I would say about the Colts is they have a veteran defensive line. But I thought Latu was far from the best defensive player available. Dallas Turner's a better, more explosive, more productive pass rusher. Byron Murphy, I think, has a chance to be a legitimate day one defensive tackle. They need help in the secondary. You had Quinyon Mitchell sitting there. I just thought that was a reach. And the reason I say that, we talked about it yesterday, his film versus Fuaga from Oregon State. When Oregon State played UCLA, Fuaga with the Saints, good pick. He dominated Latu. I mean, he made him look like a little boy.
Yeah, I've heard. I like Latu. I think.
I do too.
I like Latu, and I've heard other NFL buddies of mine that coach tell me that this guy is got some Bosa in him. Where
I don't see that. I don't see any Bosa kind of strength, JB. I think he's a specialist that you could bring in on third down, and if he plays an inferior tackle, he might have success. But as far as being able to defend a run and have a point of attack physicality that you need to be worthy, in my opinion, of being a first-round pick at defensive end, I didn't see it.
Tank, your D lineman, what you think?
He plays too high. He plays too high. Like he's got long arms. He's got the skill set. But again, in the NFL, they're not going to let you do what you're good at. They're not just going to let you jump gaps and run around people. What they're going to do is they're going to motion a tight end over there, or even like Harbaugh, he's going to put another tackle over there, and then they're going to neutralize what you're good at. And if you don't have that, not a counter move, if you're not proficient in another style of play, if you can't get down, get nasty, these guys are going to push you out the club. And I just, listen, I think overall, the spread offense just let players be able to do things like that, stand up and pass rush on, 1st and 10 with no hesitation. These guys aren't going to check to a run, and but we all did that. We all did swim moves over guys, but when you got to the NFL, you didn't pull out that swim move very often because some of the bigger, taller guys get away with it. But let me tell you, they're getting up and they're getting right back down
quick,
low to the ground quick. They're not riding gaps like they're just not doing.
It's more of a punch through almost than a swim.
Yeah. So I like the way he used his hands and all that. But, looking at the Colts DNs from the past, Freeney, Mathis, those guys were dogs. You had to play. They played run and pass, and I don't see this kid being as
well, we ain't had a Freeney and Mathis in a long time, Tank. So I think we just trying to figure it out.
Different body types, though.
Different body types too. Yeah.
And I was there in 06, at least for a little bit. So they decided Jim Sorgi was better for the team than me. I still haven't forgiven the coach for that. Those guys play low to the ground. I mean, they're playing leverage and speed. And he's like Tank was saying, he's more of an upright, high guy. To your other question, JB, it's too many damn people that got voices in the NFL organization. I mean, you look at these draft rooms, you can't tell me all them people know how to evaluate football talent.
By the way, just to give you an update, there's 2 GMs that played football in the NFL.
Like, man, you go to these organizations now, and I mean, every department got 20 people in it. I mean, you got college scouting, and then you got it broken up into regions, and then you break it up into positions. Then you got the professional scouts. Then you got the actual GM and the assistant GM. Then you got the head coaches. There's so many voices that I don't know how they ever get to like a true consensus in that room. You know, and basically the guys in there that probably are the best evaluators don't have the most power. And I mean, you've been in those rooms. If Tank's the big dog and I go against Tank, if I tell Tank Patrick Mahomes is going to be the greatest quarterback in the history of football and he thinks that we should draft somebody else, if we draft somebody else and I end up dead right, Tank's still never going to hire me again because I went against him in front of people. And those are how the dynamics in that room work. That's why I don't think they ever get to the actual truth.
Yeah. No, that's that's so true, man. I saw one they panned to one draft board and they had these 2 very itty-bitty gentlemen talking about, oh, he's gonna run up here and run over here and do like this. And it's just funny, man. It's just funny how many people are in there making these decisions and then when you get to camp, the coach says, I stood on the table for them to draft you. It's like, man, relax. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it goes. It's never one person's decision unless their last name is Jones or McCaskey or Brown.
Yeah. All right. I know everybody's chomping at the bit to talk this pick here. Shaun, I asked you first. 6 quarterbacks, first time since '83. We don't know yet, of course. I'll probably take the under comparing these guys to that draft. But look, we'll see what they do. But at the end of the day, what in the hell did Atlanta do?
So I actually text Raheem and Terry Fontenot. I actually hosted Terry Fontenot on his visit to Tulane. And, of course, Raheem Morris is the guy that was in Tampa with us for years. I thought it was a great pick, and here's why. You get, in my opinion, the most talented thrower of the football on a 5-year contract. He gets to sit behind Kirk Cousins. Here's why Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, was important for Atlanta. They needed that veteran maturity. They had such a young team. Desmond Ridder wasn't capable from an experience standpoint of leading Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London and those guys because he'd never done it. So you bring Cousins in. You're going to get 2 good years out of him. He gets to teach Penix how to be a real pro. Remember the reality show they did with Cousins and Mahomes and those guys a year and a half ago? People got to see a different side of Kirk Cousins. Regimented, high football IQ. That's exactly what you want in your building. New coach, new system, a bunch of young super talent. And watch how it meshes up salary cap-wise. They can get off the Cousins contract in 2 years. Now you have Penix with 3 left on his deal. So now you don't have that quarterback vacuum, and that's when it'll be time to pay London, Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. So you'll get a 1.5, 2-year buffer on the salary cap. Now it's just got to all work. Now, I know they could have went and got immediate help, but again, I think Penix is a generational talent at quarterback. And I think you put him in that dome, he's going to throw the cover off that football.
And you've been saying it. You recruited the kid. You said he's the most talented kid in the draft. I agree at the position. I have a question, though. If I sign this kid for $130 million and $100 of it's guaranteed and he's an older guy, I get what you're saying. But the money to me don't make sense. You just drafted Ridder in this same organization that lasted you a year, and you go and do another QB play on a guy you just signed. And listen, if it's signing for protection of an Achilles, because right now Kirk Cousins could not play today. So if you did that, I get it. But if you did it, if this other dude, Kirk Cousins, is like, look, man, I want to win here. That's why you signed me. I need some help. We need pass rushers. We need this and that. I can see why he's hot or whatever. But do you think Arthur Blank knew what was going on? I know it's a funny question, but you spoke to Raheem. We had Weddle on last night, who's really close friends with him as well. And Weddle kind of had a different – he kind of was like, I don't know if Raheem's as happy as people think. What do you think about that?
Well, when they drafted Ritter, I asked Raheem wasn't there. I sent Terry Fontenot a text and said, are you blind? Like, there was no way Desmond Ritter was going to be a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. I played against him twice. So this one was different. Raheem responded pleasantly for me because I text him. I say, Penix is a dude, great pick.
Hey, Tank, does the age matter, though, to you? If you're
not
a GM.
Not to me, JB, because even though he's a super athlete, he kills you from the pocket.
Yeah,
and being able to stand in that pocket and deliver the football, that age is a lot slower than a guy that's going to be running around and, he makes the majority of his impact, with his athleticism. Like, people want Penix to run more.
Yeah, I think the maturity is going to help him in terms of acclimating to NFL life and NFL style football. Atlanta is Black Hollywood, and that city can really swoop you up, and they serve the best meals in the strip club. So, like, if you're not a mature
hey, them chicken wings undefeated, baby.
Man, if you're not a mature, level-headed kid with a good family around you, Atlanta can really do some damage to you. I think what's going to have to happen is, for me, it's going to be a wait and see. Is he going to adjust to these big men coming at him, putting big-time hits on him, and him being able to sustain that? He's going to have some time to really, I think, get stronger, get a little bit more fit. But, that to me, that's the biggest thing. Will he be able to play the NFL style game, which it's a little bit more, to his style nowadays. It's not the game that it used to be. It is a throw the ball all over the yard type of league now. And so I think that's going to help him out a lot. But can he take these hits for 18 games and get into the postseason? I mean, if you saw him in the college, he's had a lot of injuries, and even in the national championship, he was falling apart. So he's going to have to do a little bit of strength and conditioning, I believe, so that he can make it a full NFL season. Because, man, when I was in the league, we called them laps. To run that lap in the NFL, it is no joke to get to the finish line.
And Smitty, Tank wasn't here, so he didn't hear like the background on this.
Yeah.
I recruited this kid since he's a freshman in high school. Tremendous two-parent household, all about academics. He has a younger brother that's in high school that's a baller. That's a Christian, like, grounded family.
That's what he seems like.
Yeah, that's not a family where any of his money got to go to the family, mom and pop, well off. They've done their thing. I think when I watch the film, I see a lot of C.J. Stroud and Penix. Very few college guys that can consistently locate the football in the tight windows vertically down the field. And when you watch these throws, watch where the ball location is on these balls.
Accurate.
Rome Odunze and Jalen aren't wide open. Like, he's throwing these guys open, which to me is a trait that definitely you're going to have when you get a National Football League. So I love him in this situation. Could they have went with somebody with a bigger, more instant impact? Probably. But he'll be able to handle Atlanta. And I think this will be one of those deals down the line where people kind of view it like the Green Bay situation. Where when Kirk gets a little older, he's been in the league a long time, Jordan Love, a.k.a. Michael Penix, comes in and like, great pick by that organization.
Well, he's converted, transferred Washington Husky. And so I'm definitely pulling for the kid. I was happy to see him get drafted. I was happy to see him be the first big surprise of the draft. All that, I wish the best for this kid. But again, I'm not a quarterback evaluator. I just go off of what I see. So, I really hope he does well.
Hey, JB, can I say this about the quarterbacks?
Yep.
I had Jaden Daniels ranked number 1. I hate that he went to Washington.
Oof.
That is one of the worst offensive lines I've seen in a long time, JB. That kid is going to take a beating. And they don't have a good enough run game. At least they haven't in the past, and it's not one of Kingsbury's traits to offset not being able to pass protect. I think it's too much pressure on Caleb. I mean, people are talking about the Bears winning the NFC North, being a playoff team. I mean, that's a hell of a jump from what they've been the last 5-6 years. And if they don't live up to that, is he a failure? Probably. I don't like Drake May. I thought New England reached. I'm going to put a ticket in on J.J. McCarthy to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and here's why. He went to the absolute best situation. Minnesota has 2 of the best offensive tackles in football in Shaun O'Neal. They have the best trio of offensive weapons in the NFC in Justin Jefferson, Jordan Adelson, and T.J. Hawkinson. And they have an offensive-minded head coach that can scheme and get guys in a position. If J.J. is just slightly above average and don't turn the ball over, Minnesota got a chance to have a hell of a year.
Let me give you my
double down. They traded back up to get Dallas Turner to replace the DN that they lost to Houston.
Danielle Hunter to the Texans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's my Jaden Daniels. See, I disagree on this fact. I'm not a Kingsbury guy, but I think in this era right now with Jaden, I think it's a mesh. I like the match with the addition of Eckler, with the addition of they already have McLaurin, who I like a lot as a number 1 receiver.
Jahan Dotson, number 2.
They have a really good defense, I believe, already. And I think at least Jaden will get a lot of repetition because he'll get the ball back quite often, in my opinion, as a rookie versus a lot of these other guys who may not see the ball as often because I just think that Jaden in this – I'm not as mad about the pick for Washington as you are. But I see your point, though, and they got to shore up the O-line in this round. And this is the round, right, that I want to get your guys' take. This is the round that a lot of these guys pick big guys up front, right? And that's what we're going to expect round 2 here.
So I'm not upset with Washington. I'm just disappointed. That's where Jaden ended up.
No, I hear you.
So you talk about that defense, JB. Don't forget, I'm not a big Chase Young fan, but they traded Chase Young. But I am a big Montez Sweat fan, and they traded Montez Sweat to Chicago. So you talking about they still got those 2 deep tackles there, but that pass rush is not what it was. And so we'll see. I hope it works out. I mean, I'm a Cliff Kingsbury fan. I just think Washington's a couple years away from being a legit competitor, and Jay's going to take a beating, I think, while they develop around him.
Yeah, all right, that's bad for a young quarterback. Is to be in a position to lose confidence, get hit a lot. That does not bode well. You can just look at Derek Carr, whatever his brother's name was.
David,
yeah. That pushed him out the league quick.
And he's already small too, and that's one of the things that people are I guess nervous about is how skinny he is anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now you couple that with him potentially being hit a lot, man, it is a little bit of a scary combination there.
And that weather along the Beltway over there, it is always shitty. The weather, he's gonna be playing in some cold, nasty, gloomy, rainy games. Oh, they make the type of games you want to be getting hit 15 times in.
Hey, before our betting extraordinaire comes on and dives in with you guys so we can make our winnable picks later to end the show, let me ask you about all the things that are happening here in this draft. I'm not in awe, to Tank's point. It was like a draft I've ever seen. It was the most vanilla draft I've ever seen. I made a point earlier about corners not being taken so early, where we usually will see a lot of corners off the board. We take more quarterbacks. Is it a fact that the quarterback position has declined, Shaun, so bad that we're like, you know what, we'll get better as a team, asset-wise. We don't need to worry about the quarterbacks ain't beating us anyway.
I think, JB, I think it's a direct correlation to the rule changes. I don't think you can be an elite cornerback in today's football. You can be good, but I don't know if you could be elite. I mean, you can't touch a guy. I mean, they throwing the flag on everything that's contested that looks funny. I mean, it's almost impossible to play defensive back at a high level. I mean, you basically to have a highly productive season at corner, you got to be one of those guys that every time the ball's tipped, it ends up in your lap, or you got to play a bunch of bad quarterbacks. Because if you get a string of elite quarterbacks, I mean, just kind of is what it is.
I mean, look at the teams we're drafting every 2 years. The same team drafting QBs every 2 years. They just got rid of how many we saw. Ritter's gone after a year. You got Pickett's gone after a year, basically. You got all these guys are giving up Justin Fields for nothing. I mean, like, look at what's happening here, and we're just redrafting them. And it's like, to me, it's like insane. A definition of insanity, but that's what it is. And me and Smitty talked about, like, the development at the college level has to be at all-time low.
Well, you don't get to develop a kid because the minute they don't play, they leave.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's fucking crazy. It just blows my mind. It's wild. God damn, I was going to ask you something about this other draft. Oh, okay. Let's get to this before Jeff jumps on with us. Buffalo fucking Bills. What in the fuck are they doing to Josh Allen? They traded a receiver to their rival they cannot beat, the Chiefs. Like, make it make sense to me.
They gave the Chiefs a guy who ran a 4.2. You know what Andy Reid about to do with him?
I'm just saying, you got rid of all these guys, Tank, in Buffalo. You got rid of your guys, Diggs. You got rid of fucking Gabe Davis. And you don't have a replacement, and you don't draft first round. You trade it, and the Chiefs get a receiver to slap you across your face and say, oh, we're going to beat your ass again. Are they ruining this dude's career in front of our face, I guess, is my question, Tank and Shaun.
Yeah, I mean, look, the funny thing about it is, these guys always want to tell the public that they have a plan, but what they're doing on its face is making the other team better. And so you really can't, buy into, these teams, quote unquote, future, because look, maybe they had a bad experience with the kid that they sent down to Houston. I tell you what, a lot of times when these teams have a bad experience, that really shows how they draft and pick players going forward. They don't want to have that same experience because they know maybe mentally what having a player like that did to Josh Allen. So maybe they're trying to protect him from certain people, alpha males, I don't know, but it doesn't look good on the surface.
Hey, Tank, are you a Wire fan?
Yeah.
Hey, it speaks to the quality of your organization. I mean, if you can't handle a Stephon Diggs, that speaks to where your organization is, because these receivers are high maintenance, they alphas, but on game day, you need them. And let me say this. Because of Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs get a pass for how bad they've been evaluating wide receivers since they let Tyreek Hill go to Miami. Let's not act like they've been hitting. I mean, no offense to Marquez Valdes-Scantling, that's one of my kids, but I mean, he didn't pan out. Juju Smith-Schuster wasn't there long. Kadarius Toney, they got in a Spitfire battle with him. I mean, Rasheed Rice decides to jump out of a damn Lamborghini on a major highway in Houston, and him and his boys walking like this Grand Theft Auto back up the damn ramp. Like, people don't got phones and stuff. So, I mean, they failed. I think Xavier Worthy was the most I think Xavier Worthy is the most overrated wide receiver in this class, because I challenge you, go back and watch the Texas film and show me when he looks like he runs a 4.2.
I heard you saying.
He ran fast, but he doesn't play at that speed. Yeah, he doesn't have lower body strength. He doesn't make a lot of contested catches. I mean, his explosives are more a product of Sarkisian's system. And with Adonai Mitchell, who I think is better, with Xavier Legette, who I think is better, with some guys that I thought were available, I thought the Chiefs kind of blew this one. And I definitely think Buffalo's points favored.
But with Andy Reid, I hear what you're saying, but don't you trust Andy Reid enough to kind of put him in the best position for him to maximize his success? You don't?
I trust Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid been trying to usurp Patrick the last 3 years. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, they gave big money. Juju Smith-Schuster, Kadarius Toney.
Juju helped them out in that Super Bowl. I know Juju he wasn't all that, but for that team in that particular season, he made some catches when he needs. He was all right.
But Smitty, we're talking about if you come in my house and you tell me I'm kicking Tyreek Hill out the house and we're going to replace him with somebody better, and those are the names that you put in that room since Tyreek left.
Well, they got Hollywood Brown now. We'll see how that pans out.
Oh I'm excited now. But I mean, at the end of the day, Mahomes finds a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still winning. So
hey, let's bring in our betting extraordinaire who's very privy to everything that's happening. We got a $5. Bailey. We ain't never had $5.
We do.
I want to ask this straight to Jeff Nadu, runs the biggest crime pod on YouTube. Jeff, welcome in. You know Shaun, welcome. Tank, Shaun, Jeff. Let me ask you, Jeff, right away, and I want to get these two expertises as I asked you that would know the numbers. The Buffalo Bills, we thought it was a lock to take that pick last night. They didn't. They traded to their rival, the Chiefs, and they got a receiver. We're talking about it right now. Today, do the Buffalo Bills collect picks, in your opinion, to bet on to go get an Ayuk or a Deebo Samuel?
That might be what they're trying to do. And welcome in, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Tank, Shaun, it's good to be a part of the show with you guys. Listen, I think they realized that, for them, they weren't big Xavier Worthy guys. I mean, there's a lot of good receivers at the top of the second round. You look at a guy like Keynan Coleman out of Florida State, a guy who's 6'3", maybe 6'4", kind of a Gabe Davis type. He can go up and get the football. He's going to win battles. You're not going to push him off the line. He's going to beat a lot of corners as far as in the air. They also maybe, as you said, going after someone, on the free agent market, whether it's Ayuk or whoever. They obviously have a method to their madness. It maybe doesn't make a lot of sense now, but I think it was Shaun that said it. I mean, the Chiefs have really bottled a lot of receivers. I mean, this has been a pure mess for them. Look, I know Tyreek Hill worked out, but everyone else has been a fucking mess, if we're being real honest. And what do you do with Rashee Rice, as I think Shaun mentioned as well? He may not even play next year due to his off-the-field behavior. So, yeah, we'll see if it works out. You would think it would, but they've not exactly been real successful with receivers. So the Bills are going to get their guy. There's plenty of guys at the top of this draft, whether it's Ladd McConkey, A.D. Mitchell, Keynan Coleman. There's all sorts of receivers they can grab.
Shaun, who's the best available wideout? I know your guy Thomas went to the Jags. I like that take. Who's best for Buffalo if they don't trade and go get a veteran?
They need explosive playmakers. I would say Troy Franklin from Oregon. I mean, I think they need somebody when Josh is extending the plays that can get behind the defense and create explosive plays, because they've got those two tight ends. So they've got guys that can work the middle of the field, that can be kind of move the chains guys. Like, they need somebody that can take the top off the defense. So anybody that doesn't have that top end speed, I don't like for them. I would be looking at Troy Franklin from Oregon.
Hey,
real quick, A.D. Mitchell is minus 200 to be the first receiver.
I like him too. Him too, John.
Yeah, he'd be your first receiver as far as odds are concerned. Now, will the Bills trade that pick? Yes, is even money right now. So there's a thought that they're going to trade that pick. Could it be to go out and get one of those free agent receivers? You have to ask yourself, do we actually see any of these receivers that are in the second round? Are they guys that are your starting wide receiver one? I think a lot of these guys that you're picking here in the second round are, they're really solid, but I don't know if they're starting ones in the NFL.
Yeah. Tank, I got to ask you a question, D-line wise. Hendrickson, 17 sacks last year for Cincinnati. Basically, it comes down to money. It seems like he wants to restructure a deal. He wants to actually stay there. You were there. You know the deal there. Do they get that done? The reason I asked that is to ask Jeff and Shaun, is T. Higgins a trading commodity to another team that needs a wideout? And can they afford to lose both of these guys in Cincinnati? Tank, do you do everything you can to keep him?
I think what the Bengals are looking at is his injury history. When he's been on the field, he's very successful. He did great for them down the stretch in the playoffs, but he's been nicked up, and he wants top 5 defensive lineman money. I just don't think that he's worth that. And if you look at the Browns or the Bengals' history of how they pay players, they are as frugal as they come, and they will use everything against you that they possibly can, which is why they bring in so many retreads that have problems. They love to use things against you in negotiations. With me, we were ranked number 4 defense in the league. They still wanted to use different things against me and negotiating a contract. So I think they're just, they're playing the game right now, and they're going to take it all the way to the gate, which is, that's what the Bengals do. They're going to try to get a player for as cheap as they humanly possibly can.
And production-wise, I think he's like 60 sacks in 65 games or some shit.
JB, he's not the elite talent that J.J. Watt and Myles Garrett are, but he's in that next echelon of defensive ends. And listen, since he left New Orleans haven't been shit on defense. Yeah. So the Bengals would be wise to see what not having him did in New Orleans defense. And, Paul Brown and his family, like Tank said, they have a history of being frugal. I remember when I played there for the first time, that was the only stadium at the time that didn't have any in-stadium advertising. It just was all like this grayish black color everywhere.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, Jeff. Second round starts today. Jeff started the draft yesterday, 6 for 6, picking the picks correctly, and he was on fire.
The first four weren't very difficult.
Yeah. And then I won the top 10 defensive guys not being drafted.
6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. I wish I'd have bet FanDuel too because it was higher there.
I got a 10-1 for today. I already bet it. I just
give it to us because Tank's gonna bet, Shaun's gonna bet. We're all betting on winnable.
Yeah.
We talked about Daniel Dimes, right? We're towards the end of the road with this guy, right? You go out and get a receiver. However, it's time to put the fear of God in him a little bit because he's been allowed to skate and do what he wants to do, and there's been really nobody to worry him. Go out and get Spencer Rattler at pick 47. Spencer Rattler's a guy who at one point was very highly regarded. He was on a television show. A lot of people forgot about him. Thought he had a very good season last year at South Carolina, made them relevant. A guy who has kind of been forgotten about a little bit. We talk about that next class of quarterbacks. You've mentioned that quarterback class last night isn't great. You have a couple of guys, Sam Hartman, Spencer Rattler. It's time to start worrying Daniel Dimes a little bit. Give him a little bit of a person in that room that can scare him a little bit. Is he the guy in the future? We don't know, but we know the talent's there. I mean, he's got that kind of ability now as this new age quarterback. I think the Giants take him on day 2 here.
That's a 10-1 bet.
Yes, and kind of the way, if we remember that viral tweet I had where I was screaming about Jalen Hurts. That could be a similar situation here where, we don't see it now, but we kind of do see it because they need a quarterback. So Spencer Rattler, 47, 10-1 to the Giants.
Hey, Shaun, you and Jeff think the same way with Danny Dimes. I don't, but do you and Tank agree with that take?
In a way, I do. I don't think you can put pressure on somebody who doesn't really give a damn. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones got $25 million on his rookie deal. He just signed a 4-year, $160 million extension with 92 guaranteed. So I'm not a math genius, but 92 and 25 is over $100 million for a guy that's never thrown 20 touchdowns in a single season.
Golly.
He won. What did Aaron Ogeron say when LSU fired him? Which door would you like me to leave out of? That's exactly what Daniel Jones gonna say. He's gonna go back to Durham, North Carolina, and probably teach like it's the elite physics class or something down there at Duke.
Golly.
Hey, the money, scared money don't make money, though. I actually, that's intriguing.
I don't get how JB love this cat so much. You are the most critical cat I know when it comes to quarterback, when it comes to talent. And I don't love him. Well, you like him. You got something. You have some type of attachment to Daniel Jones, and I do not understand
I don't have an attachment. I don't have attachment, but Tank and I discuss this all the time. Like, Tank says it every day on the show. It matters where you get drafted. This guy, so we anointed Justin Fields and said he didn't have wideouts. He didn't have O-line.
We didn't anoint him, though.
But Daniel Dimes has had a worse O-line and wideouts. I just want to see him in a feasible situation.
So there's no more excuses. He's got Malik Neighbors, who outside of Harrison is your top receiver, right?
Yep.
So there's no excuses anymore. He'll have a little competition now. There's no excuses for Daniel Dimes anymore.
Listen, I defend Justin Fields when everybody hates Justin Fields. I'm like, no, this motherfucker should have stayed. I thought he was on the way up. He's been through it. Tank, Tank's smiling. He wants to say something.
If you're a football fan and you stumble upon this show today and you've never watched it before, and in the same matter of senses, you say you like Daniel Dimes, but you don't like Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes.
You rooting for the underdog, man. Look. Daniel Dimes I don't think he's gonna be anything. I think he's gonna be what he's been. He's a mid-level quarterback, and that's as good as he's gonna get, JB.
He's not a mid-level quarterback, Tank. let me give you his stats since 2020. In 2020, he threw for 2,900 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 picks. Woo! In 21, he threw for 2,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. In 22, he got over the 3,000 yard mark, y'all. He threw for 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 picks. He threw 2 touchdowns and 6 picks last year, and this mofo don't touch the $100 million.
That's crazy.
Hey, Tank,
I still hadn't gotten fired, JB. He still hadn't gotten fired.
Hey, Tank, Tank, I need a brother right now on this to help a motherfucker out. I'm from the hood. You gotta give me a pass. I need a pass real quick. Let me break this down. Let me school man Shaun real quick. So let me ask you this something. You come on, you get drafted into a shitty organization. You change coaches real quick, because you guys know this.
Dable.
Hold on, though. Dable comes in, takes him over, and that's when he had his best season. Year 1 with Dable, correct?
Yes.
So, Shaun, to your point, Shaun, let me make it make sense. Is this not a sophomore slump last year, basically in a new start-over regime with Dable? And this is the year that he deserves to have to say, all right, this is the real evaluation. This is his junior year, basically. Let's see what he does. Because this is really his second year with Dable. I like Dable as a play caller. I think it will work out. Josh Allen had his best years with Dable. So did Danny Dimes. So I want to see this year, and then I'll eat crow.
But Danny's best year, before Shockey jumps in, Danny's best year was 15-5.
No, it's 24-12.
No, it wasn't. It was his first year with Dable, man. Smitty, stop yelling. Stop talking that cult shit.
No, his best year was 2019. And Dable, I think, was in Buffalo with Josh Allen. That was his rookie year. But since then, he's been – hell, I hear you, JB, but shit, he's been with Dable 2 years. He's gone on 3. He's thrown 17 touchdowns with Dable in 2 years.
He got hurt, though.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, how do you give him 160, 92
I agree with you there. I don't want to pay none of these motherfuckers. I agree with you. I don't want to pay none of these motherfuckers.
Well, don't say none of them and try to couple them with everybody else. Daniel Jones is his own entity.
Hey, I want to be crystal clear. If I'm coming off as an old, bitter quarterback, you goddamn right.
Hey, I just think it's fucked up that they got my man Saquon Barkley out of there, man. Saquon he's a dog. And he couldn't find a way to find some balance with Saquon. So that's hard to do.
And the Bloods traded him to a crib.
Straight up.
Like, what are we doing? These motherfuckers are playing him twice a year now in Jeff's hood in Philly.
And Saquon finna go upside their head. Watch.
Man. All right, Jeff. Bailey. I don't know, Bailey, if there's a way to bring up the board today, the big board that you made us with 5 on. I doubt it. Bailey's back there working today. That motherfucker back there sweating, getting all this shit in. He said he can, though. Bailey's a motherfucker, though. I'm going to tell you. Bailey be hooking up Tank with shorts, Matt, Jeff. Bailey do everything. He's a hell of a motherfucker.
Bailey remind me of me, man. Like, he's just a young.
Hey, JB, before we get off of the Giants, make a wager with you. We'll put dinner on the line. Drew Lock will be the starting quarterback of the Giants before midseason.
I say Danny Dimes is a comeback player.
He thinks Danny Dimes going to win the MVP.
Comeback player of the year, Danny Dimes.
How much y'all bet?
Dinner in Vegas and a cigar. He knows. I know where he's at. He kicks with my partner every day.
Yep.
All right. It's official. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait because, man, go ahead.
All right, Jeff, I got to ask you. We got to ask you. I'm going to ask Jeff this question. You guys chime in. The best available right now, day 2, off the board. And then I want Tank and Shaun to chime in as if they fit that particular team. But who's the best?
I don't know how he's still there. Kool-Aid McKinstry. I don't understand this. I don't get why he falls. This guy was an All-American last year. I mean, coming into last season, he was the best corner in the country. It wasn't close. I don't know how he's not a number for a first-round pick. You look at the top of the board. Look, Buffalo's not going to take him. I don't think New England does either. Both those teams need receivers. I think Arizona could be a very good suitor there. You have Kool-Aid McKinstry and Marvin Harrison as your first 2 picks. Not a bad way to start on offense and defense. I don't understand this, but I don't know that there's anyone that can question it. I mean, this guy was, again, an All-American last year, freshman All-SEC in 2021. I mean, every year he's gotten significantly better. And for whatever reason, we just assumed Terrion Arnold was the better corner than he was coming into the draft. Very odd. I don't understand. I think he's the best player available.
It's funny, Jeff, because we talked about it yesterday. Remember, I said I didn't watch one Alabama game and think that Terrion Arnold was better than Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'll say this: the 2 most popular names are going to be Cooper DeJean, a DB from Iowa. And Jerzon Newton, another one of my kids from St. Pete that I helped raise coming up. But I'm going to go outside the box a little bit. I'm going to go Texas A&M linebacker Edgerrin Cooper. I like guys that see ball, get there with a bad attitude. And I think he's a guy that's going to really flash wherever he ends up next year. So I'm going Edgerrin Cooper, best available.
Hey, Bailey, can you pull up the teams in draft order so we know if these guys fit those teams?
That's right.
Who's first today, Jeff?
Bills.
So the Bills got to go wide. They got to go wide out, right?
Yeah, the Bills and Patriots got to go. I mean, New England, as we talked about last night, they have a Panther level last year offense right now. This is a bad team. They got to go out and get a big time playmaker. Look, if you're going to allow, your quarterback Drake May to get better, you got to give some weapons over there.
Hey, rumors are breaking news. There's a rumor out there that hit this morning that the Patriots and the Niners are in discussions for Deebo Samuel.
That would help. That would help.
No, it wouldn't because he's not going.
True.
No.
Man,
that would help.
What's today's date?
That ruined Deebo's career.
April 26th. If you Deebo's agent and they call you and say, the Niners just traded you to the Patriots, man, look at here. You might as well retire. Go back to South Carolina, be assistant head coach or some shit.
Hey, Tank, you've been in this situation. Where did you go in chronological order? Bears, Cowboys, Bears, Cincy.
Bears, Cowboys, Cincinnati.
So when this happens, though, to a veteran, at that point, is it all about the bag or does it matter? Like, fuck, I got to go to Cincy or fuck, I got to go to Dallas. Does it matter? Or are you like a veteran and you're like, I'm about winning in this money?
I mean, obviously it's about the bag first, but you start to, the later in your career, you get in a position where, you want to be like the veterans that you saw. You want to be able to lead young guys. You want to, you're looking for things in the city. Everybody and their mama told me, don't go to Cincinnati. I had Minnesota and Indianapolis that were my other 2 choices. And I ended up going to Cincinnati and had the best time of my life. My family enjoyed it. So the longer it is in your career, the more variables come into play in the city that you go to. It's not just purely about, football. It's about the bag and a few of the intangibles.
Tank, you would have loved Indianapolis, by the way. I'm just letting you know that now, but I understand since he's decent, you would have loved Naptown.
Man, Irsay got on the phone with me and he told me, Tank, we don't pay D linemen. I said, go back to bed, Mr. Irsay. I holler.
You sound just like her, too.
I said, go back to bed.
Hey,
Jeff,
no offense to Indiana. I mean, it's a great fan base, but a lot of big ankles in Indianapolis.
You didn't know where to go, Shaun. You wasn't there that long. That's the problem. You was there for 2 months and you didn't know where to go. They didn't take you. They didn't take you to the right part. You didn't go to Cal. You didn't go to Briar Ripple. You didn't go to 42nd Post You didn't go to the hood. You didn't go to Cal. You didn't know where to go. That's the problem.
I put a lot of miles on the rental in the couple months I was driving. I was living out by Keystone Mall. There's a lot of big ankles.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, as we wrap up, man, I appreciate all you guys. What's the best bang for the buck? Best bang for our buck here in the second round?
Well, Shaun mentioned the linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper. The first linebacker chosen, I actually ended up playing Junior Colson. I think he's really flying up the draft board here. I don't know if we see a linebacker until maybe – the Philadelphia Eagles make a lot of sense at 50 to maybe take a linebacker. But again, you look at Colson, one of the strong off-ball linebackers in this draft, can play against the run, also very good in coverage, can blitz off the edge. Plus, I mean, this guy's a national champion. Junior Colson, very good player. He's actually in the odds, the favorite to go as the first linebacker. I think a lot of people had him as a third-round guy, but he's all of a sudden very much sneaking up, I think, more to the mid-second round as opposed to the third round. Junior Colson, I think, a guy that I like a lot, in the 45 to 55 range.
Hey, Tank, I got to ask you real quick, though, before we leave. I got to get your take on your Bears and then chime in, Shaun, with this quarterback take. So just, I guess, your thoughts and expectations. We've talked about it before, but Caleb Williams at 1, regardless of all his off-field antics, and we can judge him all day. But the bottom line is, if he wins, nobody's going to give a fuck, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's had really any off-field antics. I just think, he's just –
or demeanor, I guess.
He's just different. Yeah.
Well, one thing that really makes, he's from D.C. He's from Maryland. That fits that mold. That's how those guys are out there. They're just eclectic. There's a lot of black affluence out there in that area. Yeah. And they're a little different, and there's not a whole lot of them. So, but anyways, as far as he goes on the Bears, listen, man, we took the easy way out. We didn't think very hard about it, and we got this guy. I pray so hard that it works. He's got a good receiver, but what I look at it right now, I feel like it's Thanksgiving dinner, and we've got a turkey and we've got a ham, and we don't really got a lot of sides. Well, we got a lot of big stuff, but not a lot of sides. So I like to see what we do the rest of the draft, but I don't think – I hope he does well and plays long enough till the new stadium is built, which – how long did it take to build a stadium?
I don't know.
In that weather, probably 2 years.
2 years? Well, I hope he stays long enough until that stadium's built to see what that kid could do in the indoor.
Well, let me say this, JB. I'm just glad that when they asked him about being the number 1 pick and winning the Heisman, what was next, and he said, I want to learn my teammates' names and get to know their families.
Nah, he said, nah, he did. I mean, he said all the right things.
Real quick, if I could just say one thing on Caleb Williams. I mentioned this last night.
Ain't nobody letting you meet their family, dog.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, real quick. I just want to say one thing on Caleb Williams. I remember when I was a kid, Allen Iverson. Okay, Allen Iverson was a hero in this town. Nobody cared if he went and fucked hookers the night before and came in drunk. Nobody cared because he dropped 50 every game. If Caleb Williams comes in and drops it every day, puts the work in, nobody cares what he does off the field. And coach made a point of Dennis Rodman. As long as no one cares about that off the field. As long as you're not getting into trouble. And even Allen was even getting into trouble. Nobody cared, right? In the end, if you win, that's all that matters. And I think what we've learned is if Coach Jason Brown doesn't like you, generally you're going to be good.
So we'll see. I got a pretty good track record, but we'll see.
I do, like I said before, I do think the kid's actually going to be good. I just don't think he's going to live up to the standards that the media has placed. Saying he's the next Mahomes or he's Brady-esque. He's not going to be. I don't think he's going to be that great, but I do think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks the Bears have had. And I mean, I don't know if that's saying a lot. I don't know because the Bears haven't had like any legendary quarterbacks really. Damn near ever. I mean, but I do think he's gonna be one of the better ones.
Jim
McMahon's cool.
Down.
Yeah, he cool. But
he'll go down as a legend because they won and they had. I know Tank's like that, but I mean, legendary player, no, legendary, yeah. Shout out to Mr. Go. If you guys don't know Mr. Go, he told Tank, he's like, "Come on, I'm from Maryland." Mr. Go is one of the biggest influencers on social media. He's the one that does all the videos for coaches and he clowns them. You got to go follow him. He's also Juju Schuster-Smith or Juju's producer. Man, it's going to be interesting today. I don't know. Do you see Caleb going for big numbers in year one, though, Tank? You got him. You got 2 receivers. You got a veteran on a 1-year deal in Keenan Allen.
You got 3.
And Roma Duzier, too.
Bears are loaded. Roma Duzier, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, fucking Cole Kmet. Yeah, come on. Defense is already good anyway.
He's gonna have every opportunity, especially early in the season, September, October. He's gonna throw the ball around. But I want to see the other intangibles, how they work with the team. I think he's going to be a decent quarterback, but it's not just about that. It's about, do you inspire other guys to want to block for you? All that little shit matters, man. And I want to see if all that talk that he did translates on the field. That's all I want to see.
Hey, let's end the show with some hell yeah, hell no, Smitty.
Real quick, Caleb Williams, very much the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year by a wide margin.
What's his number?
He's going to get all the chances.
What's his number, Jeff?
Tank seems so down about it.
How much?
Hey, Jeff, I mentioned earlier, I like J.J. McCarthy. What is he sitting at right now?
Well, J.J. McCarthy, 10-1.
You win some big money on J.J. winning.
There's a couple of big prices. Michael Penix, 40-1. Xavier Worthy, 12-1. Drake May, 16-1. Marvin Harrison, 6-1. That's a pretty good price.
Hey, before we go to some hell yeah, hell no to end it, Shaun, can you see Michael Penix starting the year? Because is this guy healthy? Is Cousins ready to play September 1st or whatever?
Better be.
I'd stay out of the medical prognostication business, but that would be the only way that Penix starts day one is if Cousins isn't healthy. But
we had our doctor on last night, Dr. Jesse Morris, who's in NFL buildings. He was with the Dolphins and the Jags and the Patriots. He said that he could be put on the PUP list to start the season, and Matt mentioned that today. You see that being possible, and you start Penix?
It probably depends on what Penix looks like in OTAs. Like, what's he look like early in training camp? If he's out there looking like he's ready to play right off the bat, they might just decide to be extra cautious with Kirk Cousins and take their time. If Penix is looking like it's going to be an adjustment period, and they're probably going to tap on Kirk's door and be like, hey, buddy, I mean, you're immobile anyway. So, I mean, not like we need you to run any QB lead draw stuff. So, I mean, a lot of it's probably going to depend on how Penix looks and the health of Cousins.
Tank, you imagine Penix get in and catch fire, and the motherfuckers don't even play Cousins? The motherfuckers paid him $130 million. He don't even play. Like Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe shit. Go ahead.
It could happen.
Hey,
never forget Cousins and RG3 Griffin. RG3 were drafted in the same draft by the Redskins at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
One other thing, we were talking all about how great this Bears offense could be. The one problem is, and I think Tank mentioned this, or one of the guys mentioned this offensive line is awful. I mean, if you can't block for anybody, and they don't have any second-round picks, I don't believe, so I don't know how it's going to get much better. Who the hell's going to block up front?
And then it's not like Shane Waldron was lighting it up in Seattle. I mean,
I
Seattle
know.
was winning off of running the ball in defense. That's why I just worried about it, because everybody has already put Chicago in the playoffs. So when the expectations are that high, man, they're going to whisper your accomplishments and they're going to yell your failures.
And again, it doesn't matter how good your offense is. If you are not good in the trenches on both sides, you will lose.
100%. And the playoffs is a stretch. You got the Lions and the Packers in there too, and we acting like these teams are. The Lions was in the NFC Championship, and the Packers are on the rise. So
the Packers are young. Hell yeah, hell no. Let's go. Tank, you first. The Raiders had the best pick in the first round, Brock Bowers.
Hell no. Hell no.
Shaun?
Hell fucking no. And man, I love AP and I want them to win. But when you look at capital and collateral and assets, how in the hell you draft a tight end with the 4th pick in the second round last year, then come back and draft another tight end with the 13th pick in the first round this year? That's a first and second on tight ends on a team that has a bunch of issues.
Jeff?
Yeah, I agree. Hell no. I mean, I think he made a point. I'm not a big Aiden O'Connell guy. We'll see. Maybe he's the guy. This is a bad pass defense as well. I mean, when you have a guy like Marcus Epps as your safety, he was here in Philadelphia, not a starter in the NFL. They got to go out and strengthen the secondary. They have issues on defense. I didn't really understand it. I guess they're going to play a lot of 12 personnel. I don't know. Yeah, bizarre, I thought. I like Brock Bowers. I didn't really see that pick to that team.
Smitty?
Hell no. I like the pick, but hell no as far as like it being the best pick out of the first round. I mean, some other options.
It's almost like, JB, all the quarterbacks went, and they just said, screw it. Like, you know how you play spades, and the other team need, like, board, and you look at your hand, and you just throw your hand in and get up, walk away from the table. I don't even know if anybody's in the draft room. They might have auto-picked Brock Bowers.
Fantasy, they had their phone set up.
Hey, I'm going to say hell yeah, and I want to break it down. Hell yeah, it is. This is why. And I'm going to get two expertise's take right here in Tank and Shaun and tell me that I'm wrong. You got a quarterback that's basically a rookie who got feet in the fire last year. You got Devontae Adams. If I go in 12 personnel and run with two great tight ends, not good, not average, they're going to be great. I'm going to dictate the safeties coverage. I know exactly where Devontae Adams is. He's one-on-one. For a safety blanket to have two guys close to proximity to the Q and tight ends, and then I got a freak of nature outside that I know is one-on-one all day long. I play the Tom Coughlin-style defense that won me a Super Bowl in New York. That is the approach he's taken. That is why I like it from a coaching perspective.
Listen, the NFL, they play a lot of dime defense nowadays. You could just put an athletic corner or something on him and take him out of the game. He's not elite to the point where he can just route up a nickel or a dime. I don't see it happen like that. You can take away a good young tight end.
All right.
All I'm going to say is in the division with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes, that defense, man, leaves a lot to be desired on the back end. And Josh Jacobs is no longer there, so you replace him with Alexander Madison. I think that's a downgrade from talent standpoint at running back. So I
think White is going to start.
Yeah, they got White.
You could have had Quinyon Mitchell, Terry and Arnold. I mean, you could have really shored up that secondary with a corner that could be there for 10 years.
But like Shaun's point, though, like, are you really one guy on secondary away from being a contender? No. You know what I mean? Like, so you go get the best available at that pick, in my opinion. And I thought Brock Bowers. Hell yeah, hell nah. Start with Jeff. The Chargers. Jeff made the pick. Made the best possible choice in Joe Alt.
Yes. Hell yes. Absolutely. Because look at the team we just talked about, the Chicago Bears. I mean, again, they have all the talent in the world, but nobody will protect them. And we know what Harbaugh is going to do. Run the football. Shaun talked about that yesterday. You have a good young quarterback. There's plenty of opportunity in the second and third round to go out and get a really good receiver to add to that skill position group. I think Joe Alt is the most ready player in the NFL. He's a guy you can put there for 10 years and be good. And look at those bookend tackles. You got Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, right? I mean, that's your tackles for the next decade or so. So yeah, I love the pick. I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. I thought they were going to take him.
I like it because that's who Harbaugh is. I like head coaches that are consistently themselves. Harbaugh's a blue collar, no nonsense. We want to dominate the trenches, run the football, play field position, play great defense. That's what he's bringing to the Chargers.
Tank.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with that. You know, if you see a line, did he go to Notre Dame?
Yeah. His daddy played in the league too.
Yeah, but I don't always trust players from Notre Dame. Notre Dame gets all of the NFL sons, but there's something about Notre Dame players that is just weird. But we'll see.
Ready?
I would have liked to see Malik Neighbors there, but to Sean King's point, stick to what you know, stick to who you are. So because of that point, I'll say yes, hell yeah, they make the best choice for who they are and what their identity is. But man, I would have loved to see Justin Herbert and Malik Neighbors and see what that combination could have did.
Remember too, they have the 37th pick here, right out the start of the second round. They can go possibly another offensive lineman, maybe center. They can also go receiver here. They're going to have an opportunity to take a receiver here. So
and Matt's guy, Nugent,
Drake Nugent, yeah.
And
also, hey, who knows like what's going to happen with the receivers? That's we mentioned Ayuk earlier and Debo. We mentioned T Higgins. Who knows? Maybe Chargers can find a way to get the lineman right now high in the draft, and then somehow make a trade. I don't know what they're thinking, but there's some other guys there too. So.
Here's what I'm happy is happening. I hate when we anoint these young quarterbacks before they actually do anything. We're going to find out, is Justin Herbert the real deal? because they got rid of the best pass catcher running back in football in Austin Eckler. They got rid of their best receiver in
Keynan
Allen, and they
Mike
traded Mike Williams. So all they really have is the rookie Quentin Johnson for the most part. So I'm gonna see now if Herbert really that deal, because I still got question marks.
Herbert's a bad boy, Shaun. Herbert's a bad boy, Shaun.
All I'm gonna say is this: I didn't play with a lot of Notre Dame draft picks, and they was all weird.
Hey,
Tank said, "Fuck everything y'all talking about." Notre Dame is weird.
Hey, Smitty,
weird motherfucker.
Tank just keeps seeing Manti Te'o like a motherfucker.
No, but listen to what he's saying. He's not wrong in the thought of, can you think of a really good Notre Dame player?
Quentin Nelson's a beast. Quentin Nelson's a monster.
There's not many.
Like, I was gonna say offensive line is probably the one position where they really stand out.
Yeah, but like skill positions, I can't think of any.
Rocket Ishmael, Jerome Bettis. That's it. Notre Dame, them dudes.
Sheldon Day, fucking veteran. That's my brother. So y'all don't say shit about him.
Notre Dame's weird.
But
they got a great alumni program.
Hey, JB, Tank having flashbacks and shit during the show. He said, "Hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
I'm like naming them in my head like that motherfucker was weird. That motherfucker was weird. That motherfucker too."
And also remember, they're most known for a player who didn't actually play. Rudy, right?
Yeah. Time out. Kyle Hamilton, didn't he go to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Okay,
come on.
There's one or two maybe, but
yeah, there's a couple outliers, but like
Joe Montana.
Yeah, like come on, y'all. They got some.
Joe Montana was 40 years ago.
Notre Dame got guys, bro.
All right, Tank, it's going to be a heartfelt one here, Tank, because I know you're a fan. The Lakers, hell yeah, hell nah, need to part ways with LeBron.
Yeah, I think somebody made the comment. This generation looks at LeBron as the king. They call him the king, and like the last generation didn't give a fuck about LeBron. All these guys want to be his sons. So they cannot possibly be on the same team as him. LeBron needs to just retire, own a team in Vegas, and get on with it.
Shaun?
I mean, they're not losing because LeBron's playing bad. Let's be honest. They're losing because of the mistakes Magic Johnson made when they first acquired LeBron. Let's think about this in revisionist history. This team right now could have Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum on it. Never forget, Magic Johnson drafted Lonzo Ball in front of Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Donovan Mitchell. Like, that was the draft that ruined the Lakers because they should be in a better position than they are. Having said that, the only thing the Lakers need to do is use one of those picks that nobody's going to make the team and draft Bronny.
Hey, they also had Randall.
Yeah, but I didn't want to pay him, so I did let him go. But
we had Josh Hart. Everybody's balling right now. We had Jordan Clarkson.
Was on the Lakers. So yeah, I would bring Bronny there and let him play with his dad. They've always wanted to do that, and then try and convince one of those like mid-level stars to come and take a shot at the title.
One of the reasons this show is one of the best on YouTube from a sports standpoint is because of opinions like these guys. Very astute. And I'm going to tell you, again, they're 100% right. They remind me a lot of the team that I have to root for, sadly. The fucking Philadelphia 76ers, one of the worst ownership and GM groups in the history of sports. They have a superstar, and they've done this for decades. They do not put quality around them. They spurn the second round of the NBA draft, even though that's where you build teams. The Miami Heat have done it for the last decade. And you have surrounded yourself with nonsense, doesn't work. Guys like AD who are constantly injured. No offense, great player, but he's always injured. I agree with Tank. It's time for LeBron to protect his legacy. You've done enough. Move on. Because the ownership group that you're with, it's clear they have no idea what they're doing.
Hey, JB, not to drive a spear right in Jeff's heart, but in that draft that Magic Johnson took Lonzo Ball at 2, the Philadelphia 76ers drafted Markelle Fultz.
And remember, Markelle Fultz, had a made-up injury and never played here. Okay, this is a team.
Washington.
He forgot his form. Now he's pretty solid now as a player. I think he's a magic.
No, but listen, another thing.
He forgot to shoot.
The year after,
he was like forgot.
The year after, they took Mikal Bridges, a guy who's a very solid player in the NBA, traded him away for Zaire Smith, who also never played here. Andrew Bynum was traded here, never played here. This organization is poison.
Hey, Ben Simmons.
Poison. But Ben Simmons, a guy who, again, just forgot how to shoot.
Hey, JB, they paid Tobias Harris instead of Jimmy Butler.
And they paid him max money.
And I like Tobias, but he's not max money good.
Come on, man.
Hey,
seriously.
Hell no. Keep LeBron, trade AD, get assets. Hell no.
He made more in 1 year than LeBron was making. Think about that. They paid him max motherfucking money.
Well, that's just the market. The market's the market, you know.
Hey, before we end this, man, Tank has a new venture, and I want to make sure everybody out there, we got 3,500 people in here. I want to make sure everybody hears this. And Tank has something that I'm going to get because my back and neck are fucked, and Tank's in a new space. So, Tank, it's yours. Can you make Tank bigger?
Man, listen, if you guys got any back injuries and upper, lower, middle, I got a new product. It is called the Baxi, and it is not a sex toy. It is actually goes in your back, in your SI joint. You lay on this bad boy, and I promise you, y'all know I'm an authentic dude. I wouldn't put my name on nothing that's bullshit. This Baxi has 100% success rate. If you want better rotation, if you want just your back to feel better, this will go into your SI joint, open it up, recruit your bigger muscles to distribute your weight more evenly. Go to Baxi.com, BAXSI.com. Use discount code TANK. If you are a driver, a trucker, anything that you use your big muscles, go to Baxi.com. That's how you spell it. Baxi right there. BAXSI. I'm the face of this product, and I promise you it will help your back work a lot better. And that's on my mama. And if it don't work for you, you're not using it right. So I will get on a Zoom or a FaceTime with you, make sure it's in the right spot, and get you right. This thing has my back feeling so amazing. And I would never bullshit my constituents.
Ooh-wee! Tank Johnson for
president. Can I say something about that, what he just said?
Yeah.
That I would love for Tank, and I got to get in touch with Tank. I have a decently large podcast, and I have a lot of old Italian men that watch my show, 60s, 70s. They sit at the social club playing cards. Their backs hurt. I would love to put that. That is a great promo you just did. Shout out to you.
Thank you, my brother. It worked.
I'm going to get one, just to get one.
Proud of you, black man. Proud of you, black man. Keep doing the damn thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting one. Hey, there's a blind.
The modern age Malcolm X sitting up there in the middle, Big Smitty.
There's a snow bunny. There's a snow bunny that likes that.
Tank, dude, you are the bomb. Like,
Thank
dude,
you, man.
Totally, dude. You're the bomb.
I'll take it.
Tank said, "Thank you, man." Smitty said, "Totally, dude."
I was reading what she said in her tone, the way she wrote it.
Hey,
get you one.
Hey, follow all of us. We all have our bets and picks on Winnable. So follow Winnable /slap picks. And you'll have Tank's picks. You'll have Shaun King's picks. We're even going to do UFL this weekend. We will get their picks today. We'll post them. You got to purchase the first down package on Winnable. And we'll get Jeff, who killed the draft yesterday. He's probably going to kill it today again. And we'll get those picks on there. And follow Jeff on the Sit Down Crime Pod on TikTok and on YouTube. One of the biggest crime pods going. Shaun King, of course, brings knowledge. Tank always, and Big Smitty, just the slapdick host. And hey, we're doing our thing. Make sure you tune in on Monday. We're getting closer to a live studio. Jeff's going to drive across the country, come out here and join us in May. We got to get Tank and Shaun in person. We got to do a big time deal soon. So appreciate everybody out there. right now, our pick before we end the show. Who is going to be? I want to get Tank's first pick off the board today for the Bills. If we can show the players, Bailey, and we're going to put it on Winnable. We're going to take our picks, and somebody can bet on one of them. Use the promo code Coach JB. Who's going to go first to start the second round? Tank with the Buffalo Bills. Show the players.
The best available. Let me see. Who's from Washington? Number 317. Any kid from the University of Washington. And yes, the backseat really helps for golf and your back rotation.
JB, let me jump in. I'm going with a Donnie Mitchell. Receiver, Texas. They're going to go ahead and get their receiver help right now, man. He's going to be a Buffalo Bill first one off the board.
Shaun?
I don't trust the Bills to do the right thing. I'm going to say they go either Cooper DeJean or Jazon Newton and buck the process and just say the hell with it.
The hell with it.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'll go Keon Coleman, a big receiver, one of the biggest receivers in this draft. Go up and get the football. Florida State. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Gabe Davis. I go Keon Coleman here as a receiver.
Shout out, Tank. I'm going to get with you because there might be a big market here with Pat Perez and the Live Golf for that device. And I'm sure that the Phil Mickelsons and the Pat Perez's and the John Rahms would like that. So that might be a big niche spot for you. So I'll get that connected. And especially when I'm out in Scottsdale, we'll hook up and bring you out there. Max is going to order. We got guys ordering already. So make sure you follow that. Shaun, tell Miguel I said eat a dick. And I'll see you. I'll see you guys Monday. Shaun, I'll see you next Thursday. And Tank, I'll see you next Monday. And we'll get together. Jeff, I'll see you Monday. Well, Jeff, I don't know what you're doing today. People are requesting another live draft show, but I'm just chilling today. But it's up to you. You spent the 4 hours with us last night, so obviously it won't be that night. But we can maybe do a couple minutes the second round. I don't know. We'll talk. Shout out to everybody in there. Smitty, appreciate it. We'll pound that like button, subscribe, become a member to everybody here, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it in.